Pokemon, Cynthia's fiance at the beginning. Author, Legend Love Powder. 126 Mega Evolution, the grievances between Rayquaza and Deoxys. Second more. Everyone get up. Mu Lin frowned. He waved to the Meteor clan kneeling in front of him. The leader of the crowd was wearing a grey robe, an old man with white hair and the vicissitudes of life. Stand up together with others. Salute Mu Lin respectfully, and said, Master Inheritor, I am the elder of the Meteor clan. Everyone calls me the old lady. When the giant meteorite fell, Mu Lin knows that now is the time when every second counts. No time to waste time on etiquette. He said directly, tell me, how to obtain a complete inheritance. Hearing this, the old woman said, the distinguished inheritor, just enter the secret realm of our Meteor clan. You can get a complete inheritance. Please come with me. After speaking, the old lady led the way. Lead the way, the old woman said at the same time. Master Inheritor, you must be very confused about this catastrophe. The old woman will reveal the mystery for you. Mu Lin nodded, motioning for the other party to speak. The old woman said, a long time ago, maybe the ancestors made too many mistakes. Brings a conflict between Groudon, the god of the earth, and Kyogre, the god of the sea. Dryness and flood come together. I don't know how long the war lasted, and finally the Lord Dragon God appeared. It stopped the fight between the land and the sea, and returned to peace. But things didn't calm down for long. A gigantic meteorite fell from the sky, accidentally awakening the Celestic god of the sea. At the same time, two ultra-ancient Pokemon were affected by meteorite and became stronger. Primal contest condition. The two gods under the primal contest condition, even Lord Dragon God can't calm them down. In the face of the landslide Fisher crisis, the prophets in the family stepped forward and used a colorful stone. Successfully let Lord Dragon God enter a stronger Mega Evolution form. Let Lord Dragon God obtain a more powerful calendar area. Suppressed the two gods of the earth and the sea. After the Great War, the ancestors began to believe in Lord Dragon God. Build the sky pillar to commemorate Lord Dragon God. The prophet at that time left a prophecy. In 3,000 years, Xinjiang will fall a plague called Deoxys. With this catastrophe, a great meteorite fell. That huge meteorite is enough to destroy the entire Hoenn region. I want to defeat that meteorite and save the crisis of annihilation. Only let Lord Dragon God enter the Mega Evolution form. Why? Only by saving the crisis. After the old lady's detailed description, Mu Lin understands why Lai Kongwu pursues Deoxys so fiercely, daring except for Deoxys, who offended Rayquaza's authority. It turned out that there was another reason. The colorful stone you mentioned. Is it one? Mu Lin took out the colorful stone that Zinnia gave him from his bosom. The old lady nodded respectfully. That's right. However, this seven-colored stone now belongs to the incomplete contest condition. Only through the Meteor Mystery Realm can one obtain a complete inheritance. Only then can Lord Dragon God completely liberate his power zone. While speaking, the old woman had already led Mu Lin. Come to a cave. The door of the cave. There is a layer of light that flows all the time. Even 3, Gaj. Divine power. Also unable to penetrate caves. Get a glimpse of the mystery. The old woman pointed at the cave. Report to the inheritor. This is the holy land of our clan, Meteor Secret Realm. Looking at the cave with changing light, Mu Lin said, after entering the cave, how can I obtain a complete inheritance? The old lady shook her head. For thousands of years, no one has set foot on. Old woman, I don't know. Alright. That being the case, Yandian didn't ask any more questions. Taking a deep breath, he stepped into the cave. When Mu Lin's figure entered the cave, the old lady led the rest of the Meteor clan. All that knelt down at the door. Put your hands together and pray sincerely. Master Dragon God. The covenant of fate has been opened. The other side. After Mu Lin entered the cave, instantly feel endless energy gather towards your body. Severe pain followed. Powerful energy rudely opened his meridians. Then infuse energy into his body. This process is extremely painful. It was 100 times more painful than the last time in Viridian Forest. Even Mu Lin's strong will. He also screamed because of the pain. This transformation process lasted for a full day and night. But for Mu Lin, it seems like a year has passed. Just when Mu Lin was tortured so much that he couldn't hold on any longer, the pain gradually disappeared. When Mu Lin walked out of the Meteor realm, the temperament of the whole person has undergone a huge change. Eyes, as sharp as a knife. Body, becomes strong and powerful. The breath grows endlessly. Master Inheritor. The Meteor clan kneeling at the entrance of the cave saw Mu Lin. They all spoke out respectfully. Master Inheritor, have you obtained the inheritance? Mu Lin nodded lightly. Little Lugia was released casually. Go in the direction of the sky pillar. Him now possesses the ability to make Rayquaza Mega Evolution. 127 Cynthia, my husband is a hero of the world! Third change. Slateport City. As the giant meteorite continues to approach, there is no need for such things as telescopes. You can clearly see the outline of a huge meteorite. Giant meteorite, changing over time. Keep zooming in. From a grain the size of a sesame seed, gradually becomes the size of a fingernail. And now, it's the size of a basketball. Even if it is morning, there are 2/3 of the sun has been shadowed by meteorite. According to this situation, before long, meteorite will completely block the sun, thus reduced to complete darkness. Perhaps the moment of complete darkness. That's when the giant meteorite falls. The seaside in Slateport City. Director of Hoenn Region, Elite 4, Stephen, Wallace, including senior investigators sent by the Hoenn Alliance, all gathered here. Among them, Cynthia is also here. Cynthia looked at the gradually enlarged meteorite in the sky. Opened. Wallace, evacuation of Slateport City. How are you doing? Citizens of the entire city have been evacuated for 3%. The rest, stay in Slateport City, Wallace said with a serious expression. Cynthia replied in a low mood, expressing her understanding. Although people in this world are keen to travel everywhere, but hometown, for everyone, they all have deep love and reluctance. Moreover, even if they evacuate to other cities. So what? The fall of the giant meteorite, enough to spoil the climate of the entire Hoenn region. Even the neighboring regions cannot survive alone. By the way, Cynthia, you're still here under the circumstances. Thank you. Wallace smiled hard. It should be part of the Alliance, facing such a crisis of extinction. There's no way Cynthia is leaving. What's more, Kund hasn't left yet. By the way, where is Mu Lin, Professor? Wallace asked casually. Cynthia shook her head silently. At that time Mu Lin left in a hurry and did not leave a word with her. But Cynthia believed in her fiancé. Like her, hot blood flows from her body. Never escape at a time like this. Wallace retracted his gaze, scanning his surroundings. Gym Masters, Elite 4, and Elite Investigators all gather here. It is no exaggeration to say that the entire Hoenn region is gathered here. The strongest combat power. Wallace cleared his throat. Said to everyone, there are 2 hours left, and the giant meteorite will fall. Trust everyone. Everyone knows what it means. Even our strength is small compared to the giant meteorite. But, for our common hometown, everyone, please do your best to fight. Moments before meteorite landed, lead the Pokémon to attack meteorite in unison. This is why they gathered here. It is also their last effort. Although in front of the giant meteorite, their monomers are weak, but there are many. It can also cause a lot of damage to giant meteorite, even if you can't completely smash meteorite, but just reduce the size of meteorite. It is worth it to fight for a chance for Hoenn region. Wallace, I got to know you. It's my honor. Stephen put his arms around the shoulders of his good friend Wallace and said to him with a smile, it's my pleasure too. Wallace laughed and hammered Stephen's chest. Said, I took over the position of the champion, and I didn't do much. But at least I'm not ashamed, right? Stephen smiled and said, of course. You're doing a lot better than me. Over time, that giant meteorite has taken the place of the sun. Completely blocks out all sunlight. Slateport City was plunged into darkness. The warm light no longer shines on this land. About there, Wallace looked at the bleak soaring in the sky, and released his Pokémon. My buddy, come out. Stephen also released his Pokémon, prepared to unleash a powerful attack on the giant meteorite. Cynthia, Gym Masters, and Elite Investigators, they also released their own Pokémon. With a unified posture, they looked at the giant meteorite that was getting closer. Is Slateport City going to be destroyed? Is the Hoenn region going to be wiped off the map from now on? The catastrophe of annihilation is about to come. Everyone's hearts were weighed down by a huge boulder weighing 1,000 ketis. The oppressive atmosphere enveloped everyone. Although they stayed here, they had the will to die. 0. But before the catastrophe strikes, still can't help sweating nervous palms. Just when everyone was almost desperate, there was a high-pitched, clear dragon chant. Everyone looked in the direction of the sound. I see there. A bright spot of light appeared. In the endless darkness, it is so dazzling. The point of light is getting closer. Everyone saw what it was. That is, Rayquaza, the supreme myth of the Hoenn region. At this time, Mu Lin was riding on Rayquaza's body. Hurry up. Mu Lin Professor. Mu Lin Professor is here with Rayquaza. Winona yelled loudly. Mu Lin Professor. Rayquaza. In the hearts of countless people, hope once again flashed. As long as Hoenn supreme myth, never fell a day. Well, there is still hope. Countless people looked forward to it. The approaching Rayquaza and Mu Lin. Cynthia breathed a sigh of relief. Tears flickered faintly in her beautiful eyes. As long as there is Mu Lin, it seems that there is a backbone. My husband. It's an unrivaled hero. 128 Smash the darkness with thunder. 4th more. Raw tilde. The dragon chant of Rayquaza. It brought back the hope in everyone's heart. Mu Lin rode Rayquaza in front of the crowd. Mu Lin Professor. Mu Lin. Rayquaza. Everyone couldn't help but focus on Mu Lin. Wallace, Stephen and other Hoenn elites. Gather here. Mu Lin could guess what they were thinking. Stick to the most dangerous front line. Smiles at Cynthia. Then he looked around and said loudly, even if natural disasters come, everyone didn't take a step back. I believe in bringing all the forces together. September 13th must be able to overcome this difficulty. This time, we will never lose. Raw tilde. After finishing speaking, Rayquaza sent out a quality dragon chicken. Because of the arrival of Mu Lin and Rayquaza, all those present were encouraged. All the people gathered together shouted loudly, we will not lose. Won't lose. Stephen, we won't lose. Wallace hugged Stephen beside him tightly, shouting with a flushed face. That's right, we won't lose. Stephen put his arms around Wallace, looking excited. Come on, come on. A group of gym masters and Elite Four looked at each other. They all saw the fire in each other's eyes. In a violent burn, Mu Lin. Cynthia's beautiful eyes were shining brightly. After cheering everyone up, Mu Lin got down from Rayquaza. He opened the mouth and said, Rayquaza and I will be responsible for attacking the giant meteorite later. You guys are responsible for handling those rubble, Wallace said with some hesitation. Mu Lin, last time Rayquaza faced that giant meteorite, it failed once. This time, is it successful? Mu Lin looked back. Rayquaza hovers in the air, glaring at giant meteorite, confidently said, I have mastered the ability to make Rayquaza Mega Evolution. The word Mega Evolution. It's not the first time they've heard it. But Rayquaza in normal form is so strong. How can it still be Mega Evolution? Everyone present took a deep breath. This point completely exceeded their expectations. Also because Rayquaza was able to Mega Evolution and more confident. At this time, I heard that Mu Lin is going with Rayquaza, face off against Cynthia, a gigantic meteorite. Worried, he said, Mu Lin, you just said that you and Rayquaza are fighting against meteorite. Is this going to be too dangerous? Cynthia's words reminded everyone. Correct. Rayquaza is the supreme myth, physically tyrannical. But what about Mu Lin? Just mortals. Rayquaza can withstand the impact of giant meteorite. Can Mu Lin do it? For a moment, everyone turned their attention to Mu Lin. Mu Lin smiled lightly and rubbed Cynthia's head gently. He said, don't worry about me. Only with me and Rayquaza can he complete Mega Evolution. And Rayquaza, he'll protect me. Cynthia said anxiously. But, that's too dangerous. Is there any other way? Relax. Mu Lin stroked Cynthia's loose hair and said softly, I'll be fine. Mu Lin ... You must be safe. Cynthia knew Mu Lin's character, so she didn't say more. It's just that there are endless worries in the beautiful eyes. Even Rayquaza will protect Mu Lin. But the thought of facing such a huge and terrifying meteorite, everyone still couldn't help admiring Mu Lin. Not everyone can face the power of nature like this. Take it. It's up to you to direct them later. Mu Lin took out his Pokeball from his bosom, handed it over to Cynthia. Okay. Cynthia took the baby ball casually. Rayquaza let out a dragon cry, indicates that Mu Lin can start fighting and take the initiative to bend down. A handsome turnaround. Mu Lin jumped on top of Rayquaza. He raised his fist and shouted at the low crowd. Everyone, let's cheer together. This time, we will not lose. 2 simple sentences will make everyone's blood boil. Immediately attracted the cry of the crowd. Won't lose, won't lose. Seeing people who are united and confident, Mu Lin patted Rayquaza lightly. Light 2.6 Kongzuo let out a high-pitched, clear dragon chant straight into the sky. Wallace yelled at the crowd, Mu Lin Professor and Rayquaza, set us the best example. We must not hold them back. Everyone obey orders. Ready to fight. Yes. Everyone shouted. One after another released their own Pokémon. Countless flying Pokémon, take off. In the next moment, smash the darkness with thunder. 129 Cynthia, I am proud to have such a husband. The wind howled. Rayquaza went all out and climbed quickly. Rushed to an altitude of several thousand meters. The closer you are to the giant meteorite, the more you can feel his hugeness. Huge meteorite completely blocks sunlight. It was pitch black all around. Compared to this dark environment, I prefer the warm sun. Rayquaza, what do you think? In response to Mu Lin, it was Rayquaza's dragon cry. Then let's get started. Mega Evolution. Mu Lin took out the complete colorful stone, and the 3 divine powers gathered. Instantly shines brightly. The 3 divine powers passed through the colorful stones. Passed to Rayquaza. Rayquaza shines brightly. It's like being surrounded by countless rays of light. The whole body was covered by a layer of colorful light. In the dark environment, it illuminates the surroundings. Rayquaza's figure begins to change. The 100-meter divine body shines like an emerald. Several golden ribbons fluttered in the wind. Length, also from the original 100 meters. It rises to a giant of 150 meters. The delta symbol shines. The endless turbulence surged wildly. Rayquaza's data in Mu Lin's eyes. It also changed. Pokémon, Rayquaza, Mega Evolution form, attribute, dragon, flying, ability, delta airflow. The weather turns into a turbulent current and cannot cover its weather. The weather where the weakness of the flying type disappears. Level, 99, peak of higher level 1 god, skills, Twister, ancient power, dragon dance, extreme speed, hurricane, hyper beam, dragon pulse, hyper voice, exclusive skill, dragon ascent, contest condition, perfect. Remarks, the mythical beast that holds the power of Guantan and is at the top of the pyramid of combat power is known as the Lord of Soaring in the Sky, the supreme myth of Hoenn, Rayquaza blessed with great power. There was a terrifying dragon cry. Wallace et al. Thousands of meters below. All behold the Mega Rayquaza that shines like a light. They all heard the roaring dragons roar like thunder. Look at the giant meteorite right in front of you. Mu Lin, who integrated with Rayquaza, can't help feeling excited, shouted, Rayquaza, Dragon Ascent. Following Mu Lin's roar, Mega Rayquaza climbs fast. In an instant, reached the peak. The long golden object of the ribbon is shining with golden light. Even if the difference is thousands of meters, anyone on the ground can feel Mega Rayquaza. The majestic momentum from above the 9 heavens. Wallace and others couldn't help feeling excited. He clenched his fists and shouted loudly, "Come on, Mu Lin Professor, come on, Rayquaza, come on, we will not lose." Mu Lin and Rayquaza were above 10,000 meters. It seemed to hear the unanimous cry from the crowd. Mu Lin let out an unprecedented roar. "Rayquaza, let us smash this damned darkness with the power of thunder." In response to Mu Lin, it was Rayquaza's surging dragon cry. Mega Rayquaza, carrying the thunderbolt, launched the most powerful impact towards the giant meteorite. Boom! Above the sky, there was a huge explosion sound that resounded through the sky. Giant meteorite, pounded by Rayquaza's indomitable spirit, was shattered into countless fragments. "I can no longer hide my eyes." Warm light illuminates the land of Slateport City. "Light! It's light!" the people below exclaimed in surprise. "The sun shines again." That means, the holding meteorite that can bring about the crisis of annihilation has been shattered. Countless people looked up to the sky. Above the sky, the Mega Rayquaza under the sun shines brilliantly, standing above the 9 heavens. Mu Lin Professor and Rayquaza. Success. People stuck in Slateport City who don't want to leave. There was a huge cheer. "Stephen, we, Hoenn region are saved." There were tears of excitement in Wallace's eyes. "Wallace." Stephen hugged Wallace excitedly. Cynthia looked at Mu Lin riding Rayquaza, who was above the 9 heavens. "My heart is surging, proud to have such a husband." Time flies. A week has passed since the crisis of Hoenn region's annihilation. Under help of the Hoenn Alliance, the affected cities are undergoing rapid reconstruction. Today's Slateport City has restored its former prosperity. To commemorate this crisis of annihilation, the citizens of Slateport City raised money to build a giant sculpture. The sculpture perfectly portrays the power of Mega Rayquaza and his successor, Mu Lin. The designer named this statue Light. On the day the statue was unveiled, countless citizens came to visit. The thing about Mu Lin and Rayquaza saving the catastrophe spread throughout the Pokemon world. For where there is light, there is darkness. Not everyone. All because Mu Lin saved the Hoenn region. And feel happy 927. Kanto region. The secret headquarters base of Team Rocket. Giovanni's office. Maxie and Archie, who have joined the Rockets, watching Mu Lin with Mega Rayquaza. Video of smashing that giant meteorite. With a slight sneer on his face, Giovanni said to the two, "Maxie, Archie, even if Groudon and Kyogre are mastered, enter the primal reversion contest condition. So what? Do you think they are the rivals of Mega Rayquaza?" Maxie and Archie looked at each other. From each other's eyes, I saw loss and resignation. Lost. It's because Rayquaza after Mega Evolution is really too strong. Unwilling. It is because they are unwilling to give up their long-cherished wish for many years. Maxie said in a low voice, "However, you have to try it before you know the result. Is not it?" He. Giovanni chuckled and said, "Be patient. Wait for that lunatic Cyrus, and try the effect of the red lock. If the effect works, you will get what you want." "It is good." I heard Giovanni say this. Archie and Maxie had no choice but to suppress the thoughts in their hearts. 130 Sabrina, Mu Lin, I will defeat Cynthia. First update. In the Hoenn region, Mu Lin is due to Huit on Rayquaza. Smashed the giant meteorite. Saved the Hoenn region. Completely from a historical professor known only at the top of the Alliance. Leap to become the savior. This also leads to Sleepy and Cynthia. It's hard to play quietly and happily in the Hoenn region. After all, one is a savior, one is a beautiful champion. Wherever you go, there were people watching there, a real big celebrity. Without any choice, Mu Lin and Cynthia can only put away the idea of traveling Hoenn region. Return to Sinnoh region. Celestial Town. The training ground of my own villa. Cynthia with Pokemon. Practice combat with Mu Lin's Pokemon. Garchomp. Defend carefully. Cynthia exclaimed. Garchomp's eyes sparkled. Nose spit up 2 streams of hot air. The sickle was placed in front of him, in a parrying manner. Silver, Aeroblast. Mu Lin's voice came leisurely. Little Lugia shined brightly, and her aura climbed to the peak. To the blocking Garchomp, executed the exclusive attack of the Lugia family. Boom. Powerful attack power. Just blow Garchomp out. It took a while. Garchomp barely got up from the ground. Hateful. There is no way. Cynthia's cheeks were bulging, and she put away Garchomp with a sad face. As the championship ranking game approaches, Cynthia began to step up her training, and Mu Lin is her best partner. It just doesn't matter which one Mu Lin holds. Cynthia's Pokemon can't beat it, especially that giant Dragonite. Even if Cynthia released all the main battle Pokemon, want to bully the few with more, can be huge Dragonite, directly ignoring the difference in quantity. One shot of Dragon Claw directly destroys the group. The weakest little Lugia. After her trump card Garchomp, Mega Evolution, there are still a few moves back and forth. But the problem is, once little Lugia unleashes an almost rogue Aeroblast, there's nothing a Mega Garchomp can do about it. Directly came a force to break the skill. Not K's and Tilda. Cynthia sat aside with her arms folded, deliberately showing emotions to Mu Lin. Silver, you go to training. Mu Lin casually helped little Lugia recover her energy, then walk in front of Cynthia. He stretched out his arms and embraced the little girl who had a little emotion from behind. He said softly, "Ah, the baby is not happy. Come on, one day you will beat me." Cynthia's little Stephanie broke away from Mu Lin's embrace in a temper. 3 points of dissatisfaction, 7 points of arrogance, said, "A man's mouth, a deceiving ghost. What can beat you one day? It's all a lie. Your Pokemon are rogues. It's not a phantom beast, it's a divine beast. Even a normal Lucario, my Pokemon is not a rival. I don't care. It's all your fault." Cynthia, who is a champion, usually abuses her. But once facing Mu Lin, the situation is reversed. Always being abused. This kind of psychological gap is a bit difficult to accept. Okay, it's all my husband's fault. Baby, don't be angry. My husband will make delicious vanilla ice cream for you later. While coaxing Mu Lin gently, he reached out to hug again. Women, up to 80 years old, down to 8 years old. You have to coax. This is more or less. Cynthia struggled a little. After a moment of meaning, he lay comfortably in Mu Lin's arms. Lazily said, "In addition to vanilla ice cream, I also want to eat poplar nectar, taro ball sago dew, and white chocolate cake." Cynthia said, "It's all about sweets." Mu Lin, okay, I'll make you whatever you want." Cynthia tilted her head and turned to look at Mu Lin. Pretending to be vicious, he said, "That's right. In the future, when you have nothing to do, stay honestly in Celestic Town. You can't go out casually. Once you go out, you will become stronger once I listen to you." Mu Lin said helplessly, "Woman, your alias. Call it a rogue." Seeing Mu Lin's cute look, Cynthia felt satisfied for a while. Good husband. Kiss 1. Anthracene. Well, Tilda. The stronger Mu Lin's Pokemon is, the happier she is. No woman wants her husband to be weak. The nonsense and entanglement just now, it's just a joke between lovers. Seeing Cynthia's cute look, the corner of Mu Lin's mouth curled up into a nice arc. Badly said, "That's right, wife. I'm also a training partner, and I'm cooking for you, and you'll be hiding it at home. So obedient. Do you want to reward me?" Cynthia gave Mu Lin a meaningful look. Mu Lin laughed happily. The money is good, and said, "Use your feet." "Okay. For the sake of being so obedient, I will reward you." Cynthia fingers with shallots tapped Mu Lin's forehead. Just like Mu Lin and Cynthia. Bliss. While preparing lunch, a woman with waist-length hair, riding a Xatu, come down to Celestic Town. This woman is exactly Sabrina. Sabrina looked faintly into the distance. "The house where Mu Lin and Cynthia live," muttered in his mouth. Mu Lin ... "I'm coming. I'll beat her." The same kind, is to be with the same kind ... 131 Mu Lin. Sabrina has experienced many things during this time. Celestial Town. Kitchen at home. "Honey, pass me that bag of cocoa powder over there. And that spoon, bring it here too." "Husband, what are you going to do with these meetings?" "Husband, how long can we eat?" At this time, Mu Lin and Cynthia are preparing lunch. Suddenly, Mu Lin cooking. The action paused. Perception. There is a person whose breath is familiar. Outside their home. Sabrina. Why is she here? Mu Lin was astonished. Just as Mu Lin was thinking quickly, why did Sabrina come here? Ding dong tilde. Ding dong tilde. Outside the door, there was a sound of a doorbell. Maybe it's Grandma, my husband. I'll open the door. Cynthia put down the tableware in her hand, walked out without any precaution, just opened the door. I saw Sabrina with long hair. Cynthia obviously paused when she opened the door. Sabrina. His complexion began to turn ugly. Cynthia subconsciously blocked the door with her body. 120 said, "Are you here to find Mu Lin?" Sabrina was as expressionless as ever. Nodded, shook his head again. He said coldly, "This time, I mainly came to find you." "Come to see me?" Cynthia was a little surprised. "I usually don't have any personal relationship with Sabrina at all." He asked directly, "Why are you looking for me?" Sabrina said with a blank face, "I want to challenge you." "Challenge me?" Cynthia pointed at herself in disbelief. "That's right. I want, beat you." Sabrina never had emotional eyes. A raging fighting spirit was ignited. "Why?" Cynthia asked, frowning. Sabrina replied, "Because, after defeating you, I can just be with him." Sabrina didn't finish her sentence. Mu Lin came out from the kitchen. "When you hear Sabrina's words, don't think about it. You know what she's going to say next." Quickly interrupted, "It's the owner of Sabrina. It's inconvenient for us today. You can challenge, CGFG, again later." After speaking, "I want to close the door to see off the guests." Mu Lin just wanted to close the door. Cynthia's hand blocked the door first. Although Sabrina's words were interrupted by Mu Lin. But as smart as she is, I can probably guess part of it. Well, women have instincts in this regard. Absolutely amazing. Turning around, he gave Mu Lin a vicious look. He whispered, "Your reward is cancelled." "Do not. It has nothing to do with me." Mu Lin heard. The expression immediately collapsed. Cynthia snorted, regardless of Mu Lin's wailing, then looked to Sabrina. He said, "I accept your challenge." "It is good." Sabrina agreed. Then he took a deep look at Mu Lin. Then he walked out the door. Cynthia followed suit. "Hey, the reward is gone." "What is this called?" Mu Lin sighed heavily. "See what Cynthia looks like." Guess she already thinks she has a problem with Sabrina. But the problem is, I obviously have nothing to do with Sabrina. This wave is definitely too bad. because you usually have to train. So Cynthia is exclusively out of the house. A training ground was built. At this time, the two women were standing in a corner of the battlefield. Sabrina's face was expressionless, but her eyes were burning with intent. On the other side, Cynthia flicked her wrist. Move your neck. Both sides are concentrating on focus energy. Prepare for the upcoming battle. Mu Lin, you are the referee, Cynthia commanded. Mu Lin stood listlessly in the battlefield, acting as the referee. How do you want to fight? 3v3? Or 6v6? Cynthia spoke first. In the regular battle of trainer, challengers are eligible to decide the mode of the battle. 3v3, Sabrina said blankly. It is good. As you wish. Cynthia took out the baby ball first. Released her main battle Pokemon. Pokemon, Garchomp. Gender, female. Attribute, ground, dragon. Ability, Sandstorm. When in Sandstorm, the dodge rate will increase. Level, 67, champion intermediate. Potential, champion peak. Skills, crunch, double slash, sand tomb, dragon breath, bulldoze, dragon claw, slash, dig, sandstorm. Genetic skills, outrage, double edge, dragon pulse, dragon god dive. Contest condition, good. Remarks, this Pokemon has outstanding aptitude, coupled with the trainer's meticulous breeder, it has reached a very high level of the same race. In Cynthia's view, the other party dared to challenge her. Must be good strength. So, don't hold back anymore. Use your strongest Pokemon directly. Garchomp. Very strong, Sabrina muttered lightly. He also took out the baby ball. Released her main battle Pokemon. Pokemon, Alakazam? Gender, female. Attribute, superpower? Ability, mental power. By exercising the spirit, you will not flinch from rivals' attack. Level, 65, champion intermediate. Potential, champion peak. Skills, confusion, Psybeam, teleport, reflect, psycho cut, ally switch, recover, mental interference. Genetic skills, magic coat, defense rating. Contest condition, good. Remarks, when you close your eyes, your whole body will become very sharp, and you can use your strongest ability. It is said that the spoons that Alakazam holds in both hands are objects created from his psychic. When Mu Lin saw Sabrina Alakazam's data, eyes narrowed. Remember Alakazam before Sabrina, but at the peak of elite. In such a short period of time, the strength has actually reached the champion middle class. It seems that Sabrina has gone through a lot during this time. 132 Kaluni, Cynthia, borrow it from your husband. Facing the rival champion Cynthia, Sabrina pulled up her sleeves. The Mega ring inside is revealed. Alakazam, Mega Evolution. Alakazam's momentum increased rapidly. The body shape is changing rapidly. The armor on his body turned into a purple robe. 2 feet put together, and use psychic to make yourself float in the air. The number of spoons is increased to 5. No longer held in the hand, but lifted into the air by psychic. Mega Evolution. Cynthia looked at Sabrina's Alakazam, got serious, got up. Unexpectedly, Sabrina is just a gymnasium owner. Pokemon's strength is not weaker than his own champion, and also has the strength of Mega Evolution. Think here. Cynthia also pressed the Mega ring on her hand. Garchomp, Mega Evolution. Garchomp in a brief moment also entered Mega Evolution form. 2 Mega Evolution Pokemon take their place on the battlefield. The battle begins. Sabrina is the first to attack. Alakazam, use Psybeam. 5 spoons of Mega Alakazam floating shine separately. A light wave full of spiritual power was emitted. Garchomp, Dragon Pulse. Cynthia also made quick moves. Garchomp's galloping dragon energy transformed into a dragon shape. Boom. Under the collision of 2 energies, a huge air wave broke out. Alakazam of Sabrina, for Mega Evolution form. Not very used yet. Otherwise, it should be possible in terms of energy attacks. Suppress Garchomp. Should be getting the Mega Stone not long ago. Past the first round of duel. Mu Lin saw the difference between the 2 Pokemon. Garchomp, don't give the other party a chance. Use double chop. Cynthia gave orders quickly. Garchomp immediately swung the death scythes. Unleash a powerful slash. In terms of close combat, Garchomp definitely regulated Alakazam on the head, and Alakazam's weak defense. Once hit, you will definitely lose a lot of stamina, even lose combat effectiveness. Sabrina knows this too. Alakazam, teleport! The 5 spoons suspended by Mega Alakazam touched slightly. The figure disappeared immediately. Alakazam, Psybeam! Mega Alakazam, once again transformed into a spiritual energy attack. Behind your back, Garchomp. With Sandstorm, protect yourself. Cynthia observes the changing tide of battle. Immediately sound an alert. Garchomp turned around quickly. Drum up the energy of the ground system. Transformed into flying sand. Converged on the body to form armor. Boom. A puff of smoke rose. Among the smoke and dust, Garchomp burst out like a jet. Wielding the twin death scythes, he fought back. Sabrina's brow furrowed. Commander, teleport! Alakazam did it again. Use a move teleport to dodge the attack. To this, Cynthia's eyes flashed a look of light. Garchomp's move just now. But it was just a bluff. Watch the timing. Zhao shouted. Garchomp. Dragon Rush. Raw tilde. Mega Garchomp was full of energy. Release a terrifying evil spirit. Launch an assault on Mega Alakazam. In the game, the power of this skill is as high as 100 points. It is a typical big move that will only be used to decide the outcome. Alakazam's weak body once hit, it is estimated that it will be defeated directly. To this, Sabrina reacted quickly. Also let Alakazam use super powerful skills. Alakazam, Psychic! Mega Alakazam surges energy all over the body. 5 spoons through the float. Tilt out as much as possible towards the charging Mega Garchomp. Shot out. Boom. The body is covered with yellow sand. Unleash the terrifying Mega Garchomp. Use a strong body. The savage knocked out the weak Mega Alakazam. Meanwhile, Mega Alakazam all the psychic energy. They also all hit Mega Garchomp. Alakazam lost his strength and energy. Struggle up from the ground. Seeing this, Sabrina no longer forced herself. Take out the baby ball. Alakazam, thank you for your hard work. On the other side, Harrow's Garchomp, also because of a large loss of physical strength, can no longer maintain Mega Evolution form. Although Garchomp can continue to fight, but it is already the end of the battle. Cynthia didn't force it. Garchomp, it's fine. Ask for flowers. Garchomp was also taken back. Sabrina and Cynthia, round 1. It's a tie. Sabrina's eyes were fixed on Cynthia. He said word by word, champion, you are really strong. Hee. Cynthia smiled and responded, you're not bad either. Continue. For some reason, Mu Lin felt that there were 2 women. There seems to be a feeling of sympathy. Immediately afterwards, the 2 began the second round of fighting. This time, Cynthia sent her Ghost and the Evil Spirit combination Spirit Tomb. Sabrina sent her Mr. Mime. Cynthia's Spirit Tomb, by virtue of suppression on attribute, defeats Sabrina's Mr. Mime. Immediately afterwards, Sabrina released her Espeon. Unfortunately, Espeon still lost to Spirit Tomb suppressed by attribute. Soon, he fell into a disadvantage. Thus, defeated. Mr. Mime and Espeon lost successively, leading to Sabrina's defeat. Sabrina simply put away her Pokémon, admitted, I lost, although it feels like Sabrina is here to find fault. But Cynthia is in a good mood, maybe because of defeating Sabrina, got back some of the confidence that was lost with Mu Lin. Actively said, you are a good rival. Whoever thought? Sabrina doesn't even look at Cynthia. Straight to the battlefield. Mu Lin, who acted as the referee, said, although I lost, I will come back again. Finished. Not waiting for Mu Lin and Cynthia to react, summons the flying Pokémon Xatu. Then he wrote up very simply, leave quickly. In an instant, Shirona's happy mood was gone. Looking aside with a bad face, innocent Mu Lin, just about to question the matter between Mu Lin and Sabrina. The phone in my pocket rang. Glanced. It's my good sister Karuni calling. Cynthia had no choice but to suppress the anger in her heart. Answer the phone. Kaluni and Cynthia have a great relationship. Usually chat together. Often play jokes on each other. Cool. Also, as always, speak in a joking tone. Cynthia, borrow your husband to use it. 133 Mu Lin, deceitful. There is deceit on the cliff. ! Just one Sabrina. I can bear it. Now even Kaluni. Cynthia squeezed Mu Lin's arm hard. Her beautiful eyes were full of tears. Pain. Mu Lin quickly pretended to be in pain. Cynthia saw Mu Lin frown together. Instinctively want to rub him. But the thought that Sabrina just left. He called. Those who are named are looking for Mu Lin. She was so jealous. Immediately withdrew his hand. He stomped his foot hard. What is a Sabrina? Is it possible that Cynthia can accept it? But now is not the time to think about these things. Mu Lin quickly explained. It's wrong. My wife. I have nothing to do with Sabrina. 347. As for Kaluni, I haven't even met her. In my heart, only my wife is the only one. Mu Lin felt that she was more wronged than Dui. Obviously did nothing, but was suspected. It's not worth it either. At this moment, Cynthia, who was angry, turned her back. Crystal tears turning in the eye sockets. Then tell me, why did Kaluni find you? I don't know. Mu Lin pointed to the phone in Cynthia's hand and said, ask her. Only then did Cynthia react. He still had the phone in his hand. I was so angry just now that I forgot about this. Only then did he raise his hand and press the speakerphone. Hit the phone. Caroline on the phone. Although not very clear, but I also know what I just joked. It doesn't seem to be the right time to open it. He hurriedly said in serious words. This is Cynthia. We detected something abnormal in the cocoon of destruction. Looks like he's about to wake up. That's why I came to contact you to see your old Mu Lin professor. If there is any research on this aspect, can you give us some advice? The cocoon of destruction? Hearing what Kaluni said was serious. Cynthia turned off the flame. Hear what Kaluni said. Mu Lin immediately straightened his back. Look at it. You wrongly blame me. Cynthia gave Mu Lin a blank look and ignored him. Asked, the cocoon of destruction? You mean Yveltal? Apparently Cynthia had heard of Yveltal. That's right. Kai's voice came. Cynthia, I see. Mu Lin and I will head to the Carlos region tomorrow. Kalun, Okay. After hanging up the phone, Mu Lin immediately looked up at 45 angles, showing a sad look. Pretend to be wronged and come to comfort me. Seeing this, Cynthia pointed to Mu Lin's arm and asked, does it hurt? Pain. Mu Lin, who was 45 with his head up, silently replied, I'll rub it for you. Cynthia put her plain hand on Mu Lin's arm, gently rubbing the place where she pinched the pain just now. Need for a while. Cynthia asked again, does it still hurt now? Mu Lin said, it hurts, but it's not physical pain. It hurts in my heart. Alright. Cynthia caressed Mu Lin's back and coaxed softly. You hurt me, and you laughed it off. At this time, Mu Lin turned into a sad singer. Then how can you forgive me? Cynthia had no choice but to know that she was wrong. Hey, Mu Lin heard. He smirked. As long as you show enough sincerity, it's not impossible to forgive you. Seeing Mu Lin's bad look, Cynthia knew that Mu Lin was not angry. It was all pretended just now. Then he echoed his words. Then how can we be sincere enough? Use your feet. Mu Lin gave a smirk, immediately followed by a sentence. Be sure to be fully equipped. All right. Cynthia's green fingers nodded to Mu Lin's head. After chatting for a few words, the two returned to the kitchen. Prepare lunch. Cynthia was washing the fruit. On the one hand, he asked casually, by the way, Mu Lin, Sabrina is alright. Why did you come to challenge me? It seems casual, but in fact it hides a mystery. Mu Lin immediately pretended to be indifferent, replied, I don't know, I guess she wants to be the champion. Cynthia is biting into an apple while looking at Mu Lin. Asked, but why did she tell you that she would come back when she finally left? You read it wrong. Mu Lin said calmly, she should have told you at that time. After all, you are fighting her. Is it? But I can see clearly when she speaks. It was clearly directed in your direction. Cynthia had a meaningful look on her face. Mu Lin coughed lightly to hide his guilty conscience. The brain spins rapidly. I really can't think of any excuse. He could only fool around and said, you know that too. Curator Sabrina is not like everyone else. She's a psychic. There's always something different. I didn't expect to say a foolish word casually. Cynthia actually listened. I took a bite out of the apple. Some vaguely said, it seems that it is really the case. I remember Carlos Region, curator of Olympia in charge of Psychic Badge. Also psychic. She is a person who usually talks about it. It is indeed so strange. Mu Lin immediately hit the snake with a stick. Taking advantage of the situation, he said, yes, people with a 1.5 psychic physique are just different. At this time, Cynthia suddenly smiled. Get closer to Mu Lin, he whispered. Actually, you are quite powerful. You took Sabrina. Not a bad thing. Fraudulent. This cliff is a trap. To know. Before Mu Lin crossed over, he was the one who paid attention to Teacher's song. Do you not recognize this sending proposition? Immediately said righteously. What nonsense. For love, I am the one who is faithful. Seeing Mu Lin's righteous words, Cynthia stretched out her hand in satisfaction. Rubbed Mu Lin's head. 134 Cynthia, I eat the bun stuffing, but you eat the bun skin. Next morning, Mu Lin, who makes breakfast, looking into the room with a refreshed look, cried Cynthia, who was still awake. Honey, get up quickly. I made your favorite bin paste bun. He called twice, but there was no response in the room. Then he shouted again, the sun is drying the buttocks. If you don't get up again, you won't be able to catch the plane later. After a long time, Cynthia still didn't get up. Helpless, young Actione went to call her himself. Just walked into the room. I saw Cynthia sit up. His hands were beating his calves. Mu Lin asked curiously, what's the matter? Cynthia thumped her calf. Mu Lin gave Mu Lin a blank look. He said angrily, I have no strength in my calves. I can't stand. How could it be? Physical discomfort? Mu Lin hurried forward and put his hand on Cynthia's forehead to check her temperature. Cynthia pushed Mu Lin's hand away, glaring at him complainingly. Why? Last night was like riding a bicycle all night. Right now, both legs are weak. Hey 26. Mu Lin smiled. Said, you can't blame me. Who made you blame me? Also say, help me up quickly. Cynthia hit Mu Lin lightly with her powder fist. Okay. Mu Lin squatted down, and Cynthia put her hands on Mu Lin's shoulders. Climbed to Mu Lin. Sometimes, I'm thinking. You take Sabrina. I'm not so tired. Heard. Mu Lin subconsciously said, I am loyal to my wife. You actually doubt my loyalty to you. No, you hurt me. I demand compensation. Don't. Husband, I was wrong. Cynthia lying on Mu Lin's back. He quickly covered Mu Lin's mouth with his hands. She doesn't want to spend another night on her bike. I ate 8 red bin paste buns, plus 2 cups of soy milk. Cynthia rubbed her belly. So full. The bin paste buns made by my husband are delicious. Sweet but not greasy. I will eat it every day. Sandalwood, for Cynthia with a sweet tooth. Mu Lin was speechless. Said to have eaten 8 red bin paste buns. But in fact, Cynthia only eats the red bin paste inside the buns. All the bun skins were given to him. Okay, let's go when you're full. Mu Lin hastily cleaned up the dishes and waved to Cynthia. No. The legs are still weak. Husband hug. Cynthia half-truth charm said. Face the delicate Cynthia. Mu Lin had no choice but to support his lower body. Hey. Cynthia is very crisp. Lie on Mu Lin's back. I really can't do anything with you. My husband is the best. Mu Lin and Cynthia left Celestic town. Head to nearby Jubilife City and catch your flight. Go to Carlos region. As soon as he landed, he saw a lady with outstanding temperament. A pair of white shorts, a white cape, and white leather boots, holding a pink satchel in his hand. This man is the champion of the Carlos region. Cynthia, here. Kaluni. Cynthia's eyes lit up when she saw Kaluni. Walked over quickly. Long time no see. I miss you. Two girlfriends in black and white hold each other tightly. Mu Lin's eyes lit up when the two girls collide. The ball is deflated. Both women are region champions, and they are about the same age. Naturally, there are many common topics. Kaluni glanced at Mu Lin, who was carrying a bag next to her, laughing. Cynthia, is this your bachelorette? Cynthia put her hand on Mu Lin's arm naturally. He introduced, Mu Lin, this is Kaluni. Kaluni, this is Mu Lin. Kaluni stretched out her hand gracefully. I have heard the legend of Mu Lin Professor for a long time. It's the first time seeing a real person. But it's normal. Mu Lin Professor is so handsome. No wonder Cynthia hid before. Mu Lin also stretched out his hand, and gave the other party a light shake. He said politely, Miss Kaluni is much brighter than on TV. Mu Lin Professor praised it. It's not as good as Cynthia. Kaluni smiled gracefully. Okay, don't be polite. Go and rest. I didn't sleep well last night. I was exhausted. Cynthia urged from the side. Oh, Kaluni looked meaningfully. Some sleepy. Cynthia 757. Then what? Cynthia blushed and wanted to explain. Kaluni sent her one back. Needless to say, I understand the look. It's all your fault. Cynthia squeezed Mu Lin's arm again. Then under the leadership of Kaluni, take a limousine, came to a wide, contest manor. There are many servants busy in the manor. Mu Lin Professor, you are welcome to visit my house. Please don't be restrained, just treat it as your own home. Kaluni smiled gracefully. Thank you, Miss Kaluni, for your hospitality. Mu Lin nodded slightly. Carlos region, adhering to the aristocratic system. Kaluni is except for the region champion and actor. She is also the Grand Duchess of the Carlos region. When Mu Lin and Cynthia came to Carlos region at the same time. Meanwhile, the Rocket's Surd also came to the Carlos region. At this moment, she is sitting in the secret base of Team Flare, plotting something with Lysandra. 135 Cynthia, the man who teases me in person, pretends that I don't exist. In Kaluni's castle. Cynthia and Kaluni are very close. Just skip the polite words. Asked directly this time. Key questions to come to Carlos trip. Kaluni, the cocoon of destruction you mentioned is showing signs of awakening. What is the specific situation? Kaluni pondered for a while and said, I believe you have also heard the legend of our Carlos region. Yveltal, the god of destruction, wakes up from his cocoon of destruction every 1,000 years. It's already a routine. Based on the time when Yveltal woke up last time, it will be half a month later. Yveltal will wake from the cocoon of destruction. Speaking of which, Kaluni paused. His face became serious. But the situation now is different from that of 1,000 years ago. With the development of urbanization, more and more people live in cities. Once awakened Yveltal, invade the city. The consequences could be disastrous. Kai's words. It made Mu Lin's eyes light up slightly. Indeed. Known as Yveltal of God Y, the most aggressive Pokemon of all Pokemon. Temper is notoriously bad. Competitive with Kyurem, the ice dragon from the Unova region. Otherwise, nor will he be called the god of destruction. Cynthia said, according to the records, Xerneas, the god of life. A hostile relationship with Yveltal, like Groudon and Kyogre in the Hoenn region. Kani nodded. That's right. According to previous records, Xerneas with a gentle personality. They will fight each other when Yveltal makes trouble. But this time, while Kaluni was speaking, a female voice came from outside the door. But this time it's different. The gears of fate no longer rotate according to the previous trajectory. A young woman in tights and a starry cloak walked in. Beside the young woman, two meow sticks followed. This person is Carlos region, curator of Anastagium. Olympia. As soon as you enter the door, Olympia nodded to Kaluni. Sorry, Kaluni Grand Duke. I'm late. With that said, Olympia rolled her eyes. Then he stared at Mu Lin, who was sitting on the sofa. His fiancée was stared at by a woman intently. Cynthia felt a little upset. He hugged Mu Lin's arm tightly. It seems to be swearing sovereignty. Seeing the atmosphere at this time, I was a little embarrassed. Kaluni got up and introduced, Director Olympia. These two are Miss Cynthia and Professor Mu Lin. Heard. Olympia also ignores Kaluni and Cynthia. He stretched out his hand directly to Mu Lin. Mu Lin Professor, I have admired your name for a long time. Hey Tilda. Cynthia immediately became upset. What's wrong with this girl? It's fine if you keep staring at your fiancé. Don't even look at her when she doesn't exist. To tease her man face to face. Olympia's attitude. It made Mu Lin a little surprised. Feels Cynthia grabbing his arm a little heavier. Embarrassed, he shook hands with the other party. Then he took the initiative to say, the name of the director of Olympia. I often hear my fiancée Cynthia mention it. A polite remark, naming the relationship between Cynthia and himself. In case Xiaona's jealous jar will be overturned later. After Mu Lin's reminder, only then did Olympia shift her gaze to Cynthia, stretching out his hand. Miss Cynthia, Hello, hello. Cynthia's tone became more serious. They shook hands perfunctorily. Then he pulled Mu Lin and sat back on the sofa. Hee. Olympia smiled. I know I was a little abrupt just now. For the slightly hostile Cynthia, I don't care. He took out a crystal ball from his pocket. Then the power of superpower oozes out of the body, and lifts gently. The fingers kept waving back and forth on the crystal ball. Slowly, a picture appeared in the crystal ball. A black cocoon, slowly open. A Pokemon emerges from Firefly. Yveltal. Cynthia was obviously attracted by the picture in the crystal ball. I also temporarily let go of my dislike for Olympia. Looking intently at the crystal ball, the picture in the crystal ball changed again. Represents Yveltal, the god of destruction. There was a fierce battle with Xerneas, who represented the god of life. I thought the strength of the two Pokemon was almost the same. Xerneas takes advantage of attribute, can suppress Yveltal. Unexpectedly, the attack created by Yveltal hit Xerneas again and again. Xerneas visibly languished with a naked eye. Minoza. Soon, Xerneas was completely defeated, turned into a withered tree. No more Xerneas. In the crystal ball, Yveltal screamed furiously. The flowers withered and the land was barren. All life is swallowed by Yveltal. It was as if the world had lost its color. It became a world of only black and white. At this time, the picture in the crystal ball disappears. Olympia took back the crystal ball. What happened to the scene just now? Xerneas, are you dead? After watching Cynthia, she asked in disbelief. 136 Cynthia, at home, I am the head! Confronted with Cynthia's question, Olympia said, I come from an ancient family in the Kalos region. In every generation, there will be a psychic. God gave us this ability. It is to let our family predict the time when the cocoon of destruction will wake up, thereby reminding the public to pay attention to avoiding the god of destruction who sucks all life. The picture you saw just now is what will happen in the future. As for your second question, Miss Cynthia, what's going on with Xerneas? I don't know. It's beyond my ability to foresee. Olympia's answer. In response to Cynthia's question just now, Kaluni was born in the Kalos region. Know that the Olympia family has the ability to divination the future. For the picture that appears in the crystal ball, convinced, bitterly said, Yveltal defeated Xerneas. This is the problem we face in Kalos region now. Just when Kaluni was feeling depressed, Olympia aside, he said with a relaxed face, Kaluni Grand Duke. Now, don't worry. There is already a solution. Kaluni? 913? A black question mark appeared on Karuni's face. Olympia doesn't explain either. He just took a deep look at Mu Lin, who was sitting on the sofa, standing up and facing the three people in the house. He pulled up his cloak. Then he turned and left. Kaluni, Cynthia. The two girls looked dumbfounded. What's happening here? Question mark. In the house, only Mu Lin looked at the direction of Olympia's departure. The eyes are full of light. Just now Olympia, Kuang's superpower connected him, gave him an address. 1. The address that Mu Lin is interested in. People with superphysical constitutions are always so strange. 1 second they talked about the crisis, and the next second they said it was resolved. I don't know what their heads are thinking. Cynthia pursed her lips and muttered. That is. Mu Lin also followed Cynthia casually. Inoculate Cynthia in advance. Sabrina will come to her next time. It's good to have a reason to prevaricate. At this moment, Karuni was in a very good mood. The magic stick. Olympia said it was all right. Then she will be relieved. Casually chatted with Cynthia. Cynthia, how are you preparing for the championship ranking match? Hearing that, Cynthia had a look on her face. Confidently said, no problem. This time, guaranteed to enter the top 4. Oh, top 4? Hearing Cynthia be so confident, Caroline was a little surprised. She is the same as Cynthia, is the newly promoted region champion. The strength is compared with those veteran region champions, slightly inferior. Now at the top of the list, he is Dandy of the Gala region. The second is the Red of the Kanto region. The third is Yulongda in Jota region. Cynthia said that it can be ranked 4th. Does that mean Cynthia feels stronger than herself? It's just guaranteed 4th place. I'm working hard, and it's not a big problem to be in the top 3, or, it is not impossible to rank 1st. Cynthia is confident. Yo-hey, I thought that during this period of time, you were addicted to love and couldn't extricate yourself. I didn't expect to be training secretly. Kaluni winked at Cynthia with a smile. Hey, Cynthia knows her good girlfriend and is teasing herself. With a slightly red face, she hugged Mu Lin's arm. Boldly said, love and training are not delayed. Okay, I know you're having a sweet time, but don't show it in front of me, a single dog. Kaluni rolled her eyes. He continued, this time the championship ranking match will be held in Gala region. It's Dandy's home field. Dandy's Charizard is still very powerful after being gigantic. Extremely gigantic? Cynthia is, a little unconcerned about this. Using a Pokemon that is extremely large, it seems to grow longer and become stronger. But in fact, kill Pokemon's attribute. It's just a way to make the battle boring. Extremely large, in front of Mega Evolution. Not worth mentioning at all. Having said that, Queen Leona hugged Mu's arm tightly. Ask for his opinion. Husband, you are right. You have a point. Mu Lin said dotingly. Mu Lin agrees with Cynthia's words. Dynamax Pokemon, increased size and increased physical strength. But at the same time, a bloated figure. It also makes the fighting Pokemon completely evolve into a confrontation of energy. Compared to Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution will change Pokemon's attribute, ability, etc. There are more tactics and strategies. Affirmed by Mu Lin. Cynthia blinked, showing off. By the way, my Garchomp is trained, I can perfectly adapt to the Mega Evolution form. For the little sisters to show off. Kaluni rolled her eyes. Amazing. Then let's have a battle. Let me also feel in advance, the world's #1 Cynthia. A challenge to Kaluni. Cynthia simply refused. No. Kaluni's decisive rejection of Cynthia. Very surprised. Why? Cynthia waved her hand and explained, I'm tired. Didn't I say it before? I didn't sleep well last night. Caroline knew, trainer's spirit contest condition is very important in a battle. There is no force. Okay, wait until you have a rest tomorrow. I'll fight you again. Cynthia rolled her eyes. Actione said, although my contest condition is not good, but I can let my baby Mu Lin fight against you. Okay? Can you? I heard that Mu Lin professor is a great trainer. Kaluni's eyes shone brightly. Mu Lin hasn't spoken yet. Cynthia immediately acted as if she was in charge of the house. He took the initiative to agree. No problem. Is it really possible? Kaluni looked at Mu Lin excitedly. I said no problem. No problem. At home, I'm the head. Speaking of which, Cynthia smiled and looked at Mu Lin. You are right, baby Mu Lin. The tone subconsciously increased a bit. Exactly. You are the leader. I listen to you. Cynthia said so, but Mu Lin refused. Is that to dismantle my wife's platform? Cynthia reached out and rubbed Mu Lin's head. It looks like you are doing well and I am very satisfied. That's great. Let's start now. Kaluni said happily. 137 Bad Cynthia. Kaluni, taste the taste of being abused. Kaluni deserves to be the Grand Duchess of the Carlos region. Thieves are rich. After her contest, spacious estate, a huge battlefield was built, and also quite detailed. Divide several sites with different terrains, common ground, sand, water, ice and various venues. Everything is available. Every day, there are dedicated people responsible for care and maintenance. Mu Lin and 2 daughters came to a sandy place. Baby Mu Lin, use your strongest Pokemon later. Cynthia whispered in Mu Lin's ear. Mu Lin then replied, fight Kaluni. Interest normal. In the championship ranking match, Kaluni's level ranks relatively low. If rival is Crimson or Dandy, maybe Mu Lin will be more active. He has a somewhat perfunctory attitude towards Mu Lin. Cynthia quickly said, cheer up, I sue you. Don't let the water go. After winning, there will be rewards. Did you hear? What's the reward? Mu Lin looked at Cynthia curiously. You still need to ask? Cynthia gave Mu Lin a charming look. Understood. Mu Lin is immediately full of fighting spirit. Kaluni heard the conversation between the two, covering his mouth and laughing. Cynthia, if I win, do I have a reward too? You win? Cynthia froze for a moment. She knows what level Mu Lin is. Kaluni could win. What are you thinking? Said, you win. I'll give you whatever you want. Even if you want the stars in the sky, I will give them to you. That's what you said. Kaluni teased. You can't go back on your word. It's Puchina who repents. Cynthia said proudly. Just hit you at this point. I want to win even if I try my best. Kaluni was completely excited. Quickly ran to the other side of the battlefield to stand up. Hey, in Cynthia's beautiful eyes, there was a flash of teasing. The reason why she tried her best to facilitate the confrontation between Kaluni and Mu Lin. Just to make myself feel better. It can't just be her, who is often abused by Mu Lin. His own little sister was also tortured by Mu Lin. Then she will feel more balanced. Other than that, it can also be in front of your little sister. Show off your husband well. Fill a cup. On the battlefield, Kaluni quickly adjusted her breathing. Adjust your contest condition to the best. Fully into the battle contest condition. Quickly tosses her strongest Pokemon. Pokemon, Gardevoir? Gender, female. Attribute, superpower, fairy? Ability, telepathy. You can communicate with the trainer through the dialogue of the mind, and there is a probability of being able to read the opponent's attack during the battle. Level, 67, Champion Intermediate. Potential, Champion Peak. Skills, Dazzling Gleam, Disarming Voice, Confusion, Psychic, Moonblast, Healing Power, Draining Kiss. Genetic skills, Mean Look, Disable. Contest condition, good. Remarks, this Pokemon is very loyal to trainer, and can bet his life to protect trainer. Have a good appearance. The use of fairy skills has a 10-part bonus. Kaluni's Gardevoir, like herself, called out very gracefully. Contest condition for your own Pokemon. Caroline is satisfied. Said to Cynthia off the court, Cynthia, I forgot to tell you, my Gardevoir, also perfectly adapted to Mega Evolution. Cynthia off the court heard it and was slightly taken aback. Then the arc of the corner of the mouth rose even higher. Afterwards, Kaluni turned her attention back to the battle. Pulled up the sleeves. The Mega Ring inside is revealed. Perhaps to prove it to his little sister Cynthia. Her Gardevoir training was also fruitful. Mu Lin hasn't released Pokemon yet. Karuni pressed a button on the Mega Ring. Loudly shouted, Gardevoir, Mega Evolution. The mighty psychic gathered towards Gardevoir one after another. Gardevoir's stature was changing rapidly. A pair of slender hands, as if wearing a pair of elegant white gloves, a long evening dress, like a princess attending a feast. A pair of soft white calves floated on the ground. Asked for flowers. A pair of eyes as gentle as the moon, scanning the surroundings. If Gardevoir is a girl, Mega Gardevoir is a mature woman. Among the large number of Pokémon, Mega Gardevoir's face value definitely in the top 3. Anyway, Kalos region is here, or, take Diancie by the way. Just when Mu Lin's thoughts were flying wildly, Psychic makes space fluctuate. A powerful aura rose from Mega Gardevoir's body. It is Kaluni's Mega Gardevoir that makes the space fluctuate. Mega Gardevoir is anything but good looking. The fighting power is also extremely strong. People gave her the nickname, Super Queen. In Kani's eyes, .0, filled with extreme confidence in Mega Gardevoir. Can't help saying, Mu Lin Professor, it's your turn to release Pokémon. It is good. Mu Lin agreed and turned his attention back to the King of Battle. Who to send? Mu Lin wanted to use Lucario, who had the upper hand on attribute. But the problem is, what Cynthia said just now. Let yourself use the strongest Pokémon. Now Mu Lin holds the strongest Pokémon. That must be a huge Dragonite in the middle 3rd level god. A huge Dragonite that can be used as a 3rd level god. Vice champion mid-tier Gardevoir. Wouldn't this be a little too bullying? After all, Kaluni is Cynthia's best friend. It's too ugly to lose back, and it's not good. But Mu Lin changed his mind. Who cares? Rewarding yourself is the most important thing. Think here. Mu Lin took out the baby ball loaded with huge Dragonite. Fling out. A burst of red light flashed. Huge Dragonite up to 30 meters high appears on the battlefield. Mu Lin uses him to fight, and the giant Dragonite is very excited. These days with Mu Lin, eat well every day. It's time to come out and exercise your muscles. Roar tilde. Excited. The huge Dragonite let out a belligerent roar. The huge Dragonite, the 3rd level god in the middle, has just opened up its momentum. Immediately smashed to pieces, the momentum condensed from Mega Gardevoir. 138 Karuni, I feel closer to you! Exclamation mark. See the huge Dragonite as wide as a hill. Kaluni was dumbfounded. This ... is this Dragonite? Question mark. This size is too exaggerated. Is this Dynamax? Kalun was seriously suspicious. This Dragonite from Mu Lin quietly performed extreme giantization. Mu Lin said, I usually eat more. That's why I grew bigger. Eat more? Caroline is speechless. Such a body type, a meal is estimated to eat a hill of rice. To such an exaggerated degree, another extreme maximization. Wouldn't that be more exaggerated? Question mark. Seeing the sluggish look on his little sister's face, Cynthia off the court laughed happily, repeatedly urged 143 and said, Kaluni, the battle has begun. Kaluni agreed emphatically. I want to suppress my emotions. Turn your attention back to the battle. But this is simply unstoppable. Although huge Dragonite looks naive, but the momentum revealed has stabilized her Mega Gardevoir. Totally out of class. Moreover, it has the same body shape as Uema. It's hard to be calm. Okay, it's like a basketball game. The size of the defender, 10 times taller than the basket. Want to score? What are you thinking? No, I want to calm down. Kaluni squeezed her thigh quietly. Pain. Let her calm down a little. Such a big one. Mobility must be slow. And don't be afraid. No matter how big he is, he's still just a Dragonite. Dragon skills, Gardevoir is immune. In turn, fairy type skills also restrain the dragon type. I still have an advantage. In a short time, Kaluni hinted to herself. Only then did he barely suppress the various emotions in his heart. Come on, Gardevoir. We have to work hard. Kaluni cheers on her Pokémon. Shanite. Mega Gardevoir also barely raised a trace of fighting spirit. See rival adjusting. Mu Lin is also very gentlemanly and doesn't rush. Wait for the opponent's active attack. Kaluni exhaled heavily. Then he commanded in his heart. Gardevoir. The opponent is so big. You can't escape our attack. Use Dazzling Gleam. Sana. Mega Gardevoir responded with a cry. The slender hands quickly gathered in front of the chest. The fairy-type energy was quickly stirred up. Fairy skills have affinity with Mega Gardevoir. More than a dozen pink beams of light quickly swelled out. From the air, it bombarded the huge Dragonite. Fairy skills. The Dragonite. There is an outstanding effect, even ahead of rival in tears. Mu Lin will not let his Pokémon be beaten in vain. Big man, dodge carefully. Roar. The huge Dragonite let out a roar, and the fleshy wings on its back flapped rapidly. Immediately there was a gust of wind and waves in place, relying on its own flexibility and quick dodge. Dense pink energy beams. Boom. All the attacks created by Mega Gardevoir bombarded the ground. None hit. Such a big one. It's so flexible. Kaluni looked at the huge Dragonite, dodging flexibly. The eyeballs are about to pop out. She doesn't give up. Immediately change the trick. I don't believe I can't hit. Gardevoir. Use disarming voice. Sana. Mega Gardevoir opened her mouth slightly, singing some ancient melody. Fairy energy through sound spread out to the surrounding. Disarming voice is indeed a 360-degree attack with no dead ends, but it was also because of such an all-round attack, causing the effect to be dispersed. Fairy is energy. Conduct air through the giant Dragonite's ears. A huge Dragonite that naturally hates fairy-type energy. A little annoyed, he opened his mouth directly and roared. Roar. Instantly, The growl roared rudely. It directly interrupted Megaz Moves' chant. Kaluni looked at Megaz Moves, who had plugged her ears. A look of depression. Although the skills hit, but the opponent easily cracked it. Feeling helpless in my heart. Seeing Kaluni's injured look, Mu Lin couldn't bear to torture the other party any longer. He said directly, "Big man, extreme speed." And then the fire punch. Raw tilde. The meat wings on the huge Dragonite's back swing wildly. Creates a burst of twister in place. The huge figure disappeared before his eyes. When it reappears, has flashed in front of Megaz Moves. He raised his huge, fiery fist. Boomed down on Megaz Moves. No surprises. Relying on the huge advantages of the same level and body shape. Mu Lin's giant Dragonite easily dealt with Kaluni's Megaz Moves. Then Kalun sent Gorgist, Aurorus, Horducha, Tyrantrum, and Gudra. They were all easily handled by Mu Lin's huge Dragonite. One wears 6. Simple. Kaluni walked off the battlefield with a disheartened face. I saw Cynthia with a smile on my face. 0.1 I can't help feeling angry. Opened the mouth and said, "Hi Cynthia, I knew your husband was so strong. I won't fight him anymore. It's just asking for humiliation." "Hey." Cynthia stepped forward and put an arm round Kaluni's shoulders. Carelessly said, "Kaluni, I don't know why. Since you lost the battle, I feel a lot closer to you. There is a kind of bosom friend, a feeling of finding an organization usually abused by Mu Lin. See your own little sister. Behave better than yourself." Cynthia rejoices. Very happy. 139 Sinnoh 3 Celestic Rayquaza, who is stronger? The Carlos Alliance is monitoring the Cocoon of Destruction. Meanwhile, Carlos Region's Team Flare has also been monitoring the Cocoon of Destruction. In Team Flare's secret base, Lissandra's office. Team Rocket's envoy, Surd. Take out a USB stick. Put it on Lissandra's desktop. Danfing glanced at Lissandra, who was a little eager but still struggling. With a very captivate sound, he opened the mouth and said, "Mr. Lissandra, this is our leader. I specially asked me to give you a present. In this U-disc, store the means to enable Yveltal to go berserk. Are you sure you don't want to accept it?" Redhead Lissandra. Several times I couldn't help but want to pick up the USB flash drive on the desktop, but reason told him, "If you take it, you will accept Giovanni's favor. Favors outweigh debts." Lissandra does not understand this truth. He took a few breaths slowly. Lissandra barely controlled her desire. He said in a low voice, "Sir, once I accept these 26 items." "What a price to pay." "If it's money, you can just ask." Surd smiled slightly. Asked rhetorically, "Mr. Lissandra, do you think our rockets need money?" Lissandra raised her eyebrows. "Then what do you want?" Surd chuckled. Slowly said, "Mr. Lissandra, you are really a villain's heart. Our leader gave this to you. I just want to express our goodwill to your organization. I didn't expect you to regard our kindness as a business, a transaction." Lissandra snorted. "You rockets, are you so kind?" "Giovanni is a good man." "What a joke." "Giovanni of the rockets, but the leader of an evil organization with great ambitions." See Lissandra's hesitation. Surd used her lobbying skills. He continued, "You Team Flare, want to drive the ultimate weapon. Yveltal, it's a link you can't get around. Would like to capture Yveltal, god of destruction. The difficulty is not as big as normal. Only after taking advantage of his berserk, he will fall into absolute weakness. There is a chance to capture him. With Yveltal, can't you realize your ambitions?" Lissandra said with a serious face, "Your rocket team's intelligence skills are really good. Even we already know that we have obtained the final weapon. It is indeed the largest organization in the Pokemon world." He Surd smiled slightly, and said leisurely, "Thank you for your compliment. Okay, I have delivered the things. If you don't need it, I'll take it right away." "Things, do you want them or not?" Confusion was written all over Lissandra's face. "But in the end, I couldn't bear it." Put away the U-disc on the desktop. "Then, goodbye." "Mr. Lissandra." Surd chuckled lightly, then stood up. Just walked to the door. Looking back again, "By the way, Lissandra, our leader asked me to remind you, don't underestimate that Mu Lin. On the surface, he is just a professor of history. Actually, he has another identity. Your petty thoughts cannot be hidden from him. Try not to conflict with him as much as possible." Lissandra turned cold. "What do you mean?" Surd shrugged. "I don't know either. Just follow our leader's order to remind you." After speaking, Surd turned and left. Lissandra was left with a pensive look. Leaving Team Flare's base, Surd took out the encrypted phone. Called Giovanni. The body jumped straight, and put the phone to the ear. After a while, Giovanni's commanding voice came over the phone. "Hi, I'm Giovanni." Face the leaders of evil organizations in various regions. Surd who can do anything with ease. Even through the phone, Giovanni's face could not be seen. Surd still reported respectfully. "Report to the leader. Lissandra has accepted the present we gave him. I believe he will act as we planned soon." Giovanni on the phone was silent for a while. He said, "Okay, inform Cyrus. Get them to work." Surd quickly and respectfully responded, "Yes," until Giovanni hung up the phone. Only then did Surd take back the encrypted phone. Hatilda. Surd let out a heavy breath. Giovanni had too much authority. 480 Even though she is one of Giovanni's most trusted men, also dare not have the slightest arrogance. Surd's men waved their hands. "The task here has been completed. Let's go to Sinnoh region. Yes, yes. Team Rocket's secret headquarters base. Giovanni sitting on a leather sofa, holding a Persian in his arms. With his left hand, he gently stroked the soft fur on Persian's body. On the right hand, double the red wine. Gently shake the red wine glass. Finish it in one gulp. His gaze began to drift away, as if through a thick wall. It's the same as seeing Mu Lin in the Carlos region. For Giovanni, Mu Lin acknowledged by Rayquaza. It's like a big mountain. Across Giovanni's heart. Do not cross the mountain of Mu Lin. You can't get the whole world. Giovanni whispered. I don't know Cyrus who controls the three gods of Sinnoh. Being able to beat Rayquaza out of him. 140 Cynthia. I'm baby Mu Lin's licking dog. Inside Kalun's castle. Cynthia and Kaluni are two little sisters. Get together for afternoon tea. Talk about the topic between girlfriends. Mu Lin does not participate in the chat between girlfriends. Take your Pokemon and train from a distance. Kaluni took a sip of her black tea gracefully. He took a small piece of dessert with a fork and put it in his mouth. Taste desserts that I haven't tasted in a long time. The face is full of satisfaction. Instead, Cynthia with a sweet tooth. Not as cautious as Kaluni. Eat heartily and wantonly. Kaluni said enviously, eat sweets all day long, but you won't gain weight. It's not like me, who can only eat a little bit of sweets a week. Kaluni is usually going to make a movie or something. Actor. There are strict requirements for body management. And even if it's not an actor's professional requirement, she received aristocratic education since she was a child. Nor will I allow myself to gain weight. Hey, my Mu Lin always talks about me, but I just can't get fat, Cynthia said with a smile on her face. Kaluni's eyes flicked to Cynthia. Where there is meat, and where it should be. Moreover, perhaps it is nourished by love. Cynthia's whole body seems to be glowing. Kaluni sighed with envy and hatred. Okay, maybe you really have a different physique. When speaking, out of the corner of Kaluni's eye, she caught sight of it in the distance. Mu Lin training with Pokemon. He smiled and said, if my manager sees Mu Lin professor, he will definitely be astonished, and then pester him not to let go. Let him enter the entertainment industry and make movies. Cynthia took a sip of her black tea. His eyes were full of pride. He said cheerfully, that is, the appearance of my baby Mu Lin, which instantly kills all the male actors in the entertainment industry. Kaluni teased, that's why you hid him all these years. So as not to be snatched away? Cynthia thought about it, said, I'm not that careful. And even if I wanted to hide it, I couldn't hide it. It's just that Mu Lin was obsessed with history and the study of ancient characters, so show up less. Cynthia said so. Kaluni was even more envious. He opened the mouth and said, he is handsome, knowledgeable, and so experienced in training Pokemon. I really envy you, having such a perfect boyfriend. Hey, I heard my girlfriends praise Mu Lin so much. There was a light on Cynthia's face. He smiled cheerfully. Normal. The third in the world. Perhaps feeling too carried away. Cynthia said, my baby Mu Lin is indeed impeccable. However, there are also shortcomings. Kaluni asked curiously, what shortcoming? Facing inquiries from my best friend. Cynthia didn't hide either. Quietly approaching Kaluni's side, said in a small voice, Mu Lin, sometimes, he is too powerful, and, it's hard to satisfy. What's the meaning? Kaluni didn't respond for a moment. Cynthia didn't speak. He just gave the other party a meaningful look. Kaluni understood instantly. Pretty face, flushed. Didn't expect Cynthia to be so bold. He quickly picked up the black tea on the table and took a sip. To hide my embarrassment. For a long time, Kaluni just gave Cynthia a blank look. He murmured softly, this is also called a shortcoming. I think you are Versailles. Cynthia took a bite of the vanilla cake. Disapprovingly said, the day does not understand the darkness of the night. As the saying goes, the drought dies and the flood dies. I'm really not Versailles. There were even times when I felt like my body was being hollowed out. Caroline, such words from a woman's mouth. It feels weird. Just as the two girls were chatting about secrets in the boudoir, Mu Lin walked towards the two of them. Solation and Kaluni nodded. Then he said to Cynthia, I have an appointment with Professor Bratano. I will go out for a trip. Oh. Cynthia stood up, and naturally climbed onto Mu Lin's arm. Looking up at him, do you want me to go with you? No need. I have some academic matters, discuss with him. Mu Lin said dotingly. It's been a long time since you and Kaluni have seen each other. You guys have a good time. Leave me alone. That's okay. Cynthia nodded sensibly. Then husband, give me a kiss. Anthracene Yveltal. Kaluni was on the side, and saw the two people who were tired. Silently complaining in my heart, this is the rhythm of killing single dogs. After a while, Cynthia let go of Mu Lin's arm. Then he tapped his head with his bare hands. He smiled and said, okay, let's go. But I warn you, don't go out. I secretly became stronger. Mu Lin responds to Cynthia's unreasonable, of Lee's, making trouble with a smile. Okay, I won't secretly become stronger. Tired and crooked for a while. Only then did Cynthia let Mu Lin go completely. As soon as Mu Lin left, Kaluni immediately couldn't help complaining. You are really good enough. I just realized now that you turned out to be a love brain. I really want to record your info look just now. Cynthia wasn't bothered either. On the contrary, he generously admitted, the love brain is also very good. Besides, isn't it normal to be a nympho? Who told my baby Mu Lin to be so handsome? Even if you say I'm his licking dog, I'll admit it. 141 Megaz Moves. Conjectures about Mega Evolution. Lumiose City. Bratano Professor Laboratory. Mu Lin Professor, welcome. Welcome. I've always heard your name. It's a great honor to finally meet me today. The person who spoke was the Pokemon Professor of Kalos region. Bratano Professor. Bratano Professor is slender and has a specially trimmed chin stubble. At first glance, it doesn't look like scientific research, more like a painter doing art. The name of Professor Bratano is very famous to me. I hope my coming doesn't disturb you. Mu Lin smiled politely. He held Professor Bratano's hand. Mu Lin Professor is too kind. You don't know. I was so excited to receive your call. Hurry up. Please come inside. Professor Bratano held Mu Lin's hand enthusiastically. Take him inside. Inside the laboratory. The two sat down. A few words of courtesy. Mu Lin then revealed his purpose. Professor Bratano, I am here mainly to ask you for advice. Something about Mega Evolution. Every region has a famous Pokemon Professor. Each Pokemon Professor has his own research topic. Like Professor Oak in Kanto 263 region. Focus on the classification of Pokemon. Professor Birch of the Hoenn region. Keen to study the habitat and distribution of Pokemon. And Bratano Professor of Kalos region. The direction of research is mainly Pokemon's Mega Evolution. Hearing that Mu Lin is interested in his own research, Professor Bratano said with a smile, Mu Lin Professor, with Mega Evolution. What do you want to know? Mu Lin said, I want to know, how did you research Mega Evolution, or, the source of Mega Evolution? From where? Professor Bratano pondered for a moment. Organized the language. Slowly said, a few years ago, I got a small piece of stone by accident. CGCJ. After testing, the substance contained in this stone, not from our planet. But I didn't care at the time, just treated like normal meteorite. But one day, my Salamence touched that stone invisibly. My Salamence change into a whole new form. In this regard, I started to study it. As for what you asked just now, what is the source of Mega Evolution? There is no conclusion yet. Having said that, Professor Bratano got up from the information box, rummaged to find a piece of information, then passed it to Mu Lin. Then he continued to speak. However, I have seen a record from this ancient document, which vaguely points to, in ancient times, there is a mysterious, ancient boulder that contains enormous energy. The power of Mega Evolution seems to come from this boulder. According to my speculation, these mega stones are now scattered. Probably part of that boulder. Mu Lin put down the document in his hand. There was a strange light in his eyes. For Mega Evolution, Mu Lin has his own understanding. This time I came to Professor Bratano, just to prove it. Is it the same as you know? The mysterious, ancient, huge energy-rich rock that Professor Bratano spoke of should have been hidden by Lysandra. Conduct secret research. This information is basically consistent with Mu Lin's conjecture. But what Bratano Professor said next, it was quite beyond Mu Lin's expectation. Professor Bratano said, through studying Mega Evolution, I extended an idea. Pokemon have many ways to change their form. For example, the most common evolution, and then to Mega Evolution, extreme giantization. Even some Pokemon will change in appearance, ability, and even attribute because they live in different regions. Then, can Pokemon's skills also be Mega Evolution? These words of Professor Bratano, it aroused Mu Lin's curiosity. Are you talking about the Z move? Professor Bratano shook his head. No, it's stronger than the Z move. Maybe it's more appropriate to call it the Megaz move. Megaz move? Mu Lin is a bit unfamiliar with this term. Seeing Mu Lin's puzzled look, Professor Bratano waved his hand in embarrassment. This is just an immature guess on my part. Seeing this, Mu Lin didn't ask any further questions. Get up from the sofa, he said softly. Professor Bratano, thank you for sharing. I won't bother you anymore. Mu Lin Professor, are you leaving so soon? Aren't you going to stay a little longer? Perceived Mu Lin's movement to leave. Professor Bratano looked regretful. It's true. Mu Lin smiled casually. What Professor Bratano said just now inspired me a lot. I'm already looking forward to it, and I want to experiment. Professor Bratano got up and said, my little research. If it can help Mu Lin Professor's research, that's my pleasure. Mu Lin walked to the door of the laboratory. He turned back and said, Professor Bratano, please stay. Mu Lin Professor, I hope your research will be fruitful. Professor Bratano waved goodbye. Goodbye. Mu Lin called out little Lugia, and flew towards the outside of Lumiose City. Met with Olympia not long ago. Before leaving, Olympia passed superpowers. Tell Mu Lin an address. That address? It is the location of Lysandra's secret laboratory. There is Mu Lin's experimental base. 142 Titanaz that has lived for more than 3,000 years. In the original book, the legendary boulder was present in the Hoenn region. Triggered the competition of Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, Mega Rayquaza. Just last, Mega Rayquaza defeated Hoenn too. But at the same time, Lysandra gave him a hand. Take away the legendary boulder. It's just an explanation in the animation. It's not clear. This can't help but make Mu Lin to this legendary boulder very interested. After all, that's something even Rayquaza wanted. Definitely not simple stuff. Just when Mu Lin was in a trance, little Lugia carried him, flew to the outskirts of Lumiose City. Through the three divine powers in the body, Mu Lin felt the looming life fluctuation. Mu Lin frowned, patted little Lugia who sat down, said, "Silver, fly slowly." While flying in the sky, while sensing the life fluctuations from the ground, as Mu Lin approached Team Flare's secret research base, alarm bells are ringing, a red light that heralds danger constantly flashing. Claire, a core member of Team Flare, threw off base monitoring equipment. Discovered riding little Lugia. Mu Lin hovering in the air. People who regard mythical beasts as flying vehicles. The entire Pokemon world. There is only Mu Lin alone. Claire meets Mu Lin. Immediately face the enemy. Quickly use the holographic projection communicator connected to Lysandra at headquarters. Soon, image of Lysandra appears on the holographic communicator. Claire hurriedly said, "Boss, that Mu Lin, he's wandering outside our research base." Looking at his appearance, he seems to be looking for our base. This is how we should handle it. Lysandra in the picture heard Claire's report. Thinking of Surd before leaving. Just remind him. Do not conflict with Mu Lin. Immediately frowned. Asked, "Claire, how far is he from you now?" "Claire, there are about 5 kilometers left." Lysandra pondered for a moment. He said very simply, "Let all relevant personnel in the laboratory evacuate. Destroy all the data in the laboratory before retreating. Don't leave any information for him." Executive Claire of Team Flare, standing at attention and respectfully answering, "Yes." But the leader, there was no time to remove that strange boulder in a hurry, and the man locked in the dungeon. "What should we do?" Lysandra quickly said, "That boulder is not very useful to our plan. As for that man, he has no use value. Anyway, we have obtained the key to activate the strongest weapon from him. Priority is to ensure the safe evacuation of researchers, followed by the destruction of related data. Our plan is at the critical time. I don't want unplanned things to happen." "Clear," Claire replied. Then cut off the holographic communicator. "Quickly evacuate the entire laboratory. It should be here." Mu Lin riding on little Lugia, pointing at the ground. Silver blasts the ground with the shadow ball. Little Lugia uttered a whimper. A flap of broad wings. Drum up a black energy ball. Bombarded down towards the ground. Boom. Ground is attacked by little Lugia. A big hole was blasted. Through this big hole, Mu Lin saw a gate. Because the secret laboratory was exposed, Mu Lin clearly sensed the faint fluctuation of life. Ask for flowers. Just under that iron gate. Silver. Air Smith. Little Lugia sends out several air cutters. A strong cut opened the iron gate. Then Mu Lin walked into the laboratory without any scruples. The red light in the laboratory is constant. There are still a lot of ashes from the burning around. It seems that they should have just retreated. That's good. It saves me trouble. Just as Mu Lin was following life fluctuations, crossed a corner. He who is rich in perception. A sense of sadness is sensed. This sad mood, 0, and that faint life fluctuation are from the same direction. And, with constant advancement, Mu Lin also sensed it. Distribute these two completely different energies. Seems to be from one person. Mu Lin stopped in his tracks, suspicious in his heart. Could it be him? With doubts, Mu Lin quickened his pace. When he came to the deepest part of the laboratory, in a dark cage, saw one imprisoned. A man with lifeless eyes, but strong life waves exuding from his body. The figure of the man is unusually tall. Even Mu Lin, who is 1.9 meters, also only half his height. Man lying on the ground, at least 4 meters tall, a real-life titan. Messy hair though, blocked the opponent's appearance. But through the opponent's exaggerated body shape, Mu Lin still recognized the other party's identity as Ancient Kalos region, the first king. Inferred from time, the other party has lived for more than 3,000 years. In the world, there is only such a person. Life fluctuations are so vigorous, but they have already died. 143 The source of evolution. The power that Rayquaza can strengthen, lived for more than 3,000 years. 4 meters of Titan. Kalos region's first king. Just pick out one of these labels. It's all mysterious enough. And these 3 labels are aggregated together. Aggregated into one person's name, as it is said that it was more than 3,000 years ago. There was a big battle in the Kalos region, as at the time, because of a war, lost my beloved Pokemon, Floette, as has since been consumed by grief. Get obsessed with Floette, turn to the enemy. In order to defeat the enemy, has made a weapon called the final weapon. Destroyed all enemies and ended the war. At the same time, as unified the entire Kalos region, became the first king after the war, as his obsession with beloved Pokemon Floette. 670. Increase instead of decrease. Use the ultimate weapon he created, at the expense of a large number of Pokemon lives. Resurrected his beloved Floette, specially affected by the final weapon, as gained eternal life. Floette resurrected. Also transformed into Floette's 6th form. Become infinitely alive. Eternal flower. When Floette learns that as is sacrificing a lot of Pokemon's lives, she was just resurrected. Floette was very disappointed disappointed. Left as is in great pain because of the departure of his beloved Pokemon Floette. Eternal life didn't bring any joy to Az. Instead, he fell into the abyss of self-blame and guilt. From then on, Az went from being a king, turned into a heartbroken bum. Silver. Mu Lin waved his hand towards the iron gate of the prison. Little Lugia screamed and organized an air cutter, and cut down the prison door. Mu Lin moved to Az's side. Call his name. Az. No response. The man in front of him is like a withered leaf. For the contradictory Az. Mu Lin's inner feelings are very complicated. Maybe it's because of the three divine powers. Mu Lin could clearly feel the other party. It seems that more than 3,000 years of sadness have been condensed. When watching anime, for Az, Mu Lin just lamented his long life. Maybe it's because I have a lover now. There is also more empathy. During the long 3,000 years, every day is a torment. Some couldn't bear the man in front of him. Continue to suffer, Mu Lin said slowly, although your Floette left you. But for more than 3,000 years, you have blown the same evening wind. All I see is the same sunset. Enjoy the morning light regardless of each other. In a sense, you are also together. Curled up on the ground, like the Az of the dead. Perhaps hearing Mu Lin mention Floette, those dull, cloudy, lifeless eyes. He looked at Mu Lin, seeing each other react. Mu Lin continued, your beloved Floette must be a kind Pokemon. So I believe that the kind-hearted woman will definitely be in a corner of the world, trying to heal the pain of the world. Just like the character of the Floette family, flying around in the garden, tending to the withered flowers. When the flowers bloom, they will be blessed with the dance of contest. Perhaps the day you step out of the shadows, your Floette will return to you. As curled up on the ground, those dead eyes appeared for the first time in spirit, agitated the jerky throat. User tone full of hope, opened the mouth and said, the person who inherited the Delta, is what you said true? Floette, will you really come back to me? For as know your identity. Mu Lin was not surprised, as that lived for 3,000 years. I've seen too many things. Facing Az with pleading eyes. Mu Lin nodded affirmatively. Yes, one day your Floette will come back to you. In the original book, animated version or manga version, Floette eventually returned to Az's side. It's also a better ending. Thank you, inheritor of Delta. Az seemed to come back to life. Goodbye, Mu Lin replied lightly. Then he turned and left. Find the legendary boulder. That is the purpose of his coming here this time. In a few words, Yutan saves a sad person, but do it with ease. When Mu Lin left, Az looked at Mu Lin's figure, whispering, Delta was born of the chaos of the world. Combining the prayers of the people and the fetters of stones will calm the disasters that disturb the world. Go and absorb that ancient boulder that will bring you strength. Searched around in the laboratory. Mu Lin is in a room with various instruments. I found the legendary boulder as I wished. The boulder in front of you. It's as big as 20 meters. Such a huge boulder. But it violates the common sense of physics. Floating in the air. The whole body of the boulder glows with colorful light. Start the probing eye that comes with the system. Check the attribute of the boulder in front of you. Item name. Source of Mega Evolution. Introduction. Contains massive energy. Effect. Unknown. How to use. Unknown. Adverse reactions. Unknown. Even the system's probing eyes can't see through this thing. No wonder they don't take Lysandra seriously. It is estimated that it cannot activate the energy of the source of this mega evolution. That's why it was abandoned here. Mu Lin wandered around the floating boulders. No abnormalities were found. Let's see if we can take it back. Take it back and study it slowly. Although I don't know what the source of this mega evolution is for. 4.7. But let Mu Lin leave this thing here? How is this possible? He stretched out his hand tentatively. I plan to try whether the boulder that can float is heavy. Can be. Mu Lin's hand just hit the glowing boulder. A boundless huge energy quickly passed through the arm and transmit to his body. Almost instantly, consciousness is pulled into the glowing boulder. Far away in the Hoenn region, Rayquaza in the ozone layer, feel the change in Mu Lin. Suddenly opened the huge dragon eyes. In the eyes, can't hide my joy. Mu Lin, that is the power that can strengthen me. 144 Cynthia, you seduced my husband? Time passed by every minute and every second. Mu Lin has kept touching the boulder. It has been 2 full days. These 2 days passed. Mu Lin still shows no sign of smelling salts. In this process, Mu Lin's vital signs are all normal. Mu Lin remained motionless for the past 2 days. A few Pokemon all come out of their respective baby balls. Seeing such a weird Mu Lin, I was a little worried. But fortunately, Darkrai, who has developed sensory abilities, told them Mu Lin is becoming stronger at this time. Only then did the Pokemon feel relieved. Guarding Mu Lin by my side. Don't let anyone bother you. Mu Lin's Pokemon are very conscious. Lucario pumped his fist silently on the side. Practice the angle of your punch. Hiss. Darkrai is on the side. Silently calm mind. Little Lugia keeps flying in small spaces. Practice flashing and moving in the air. Each has its own arrangements. There is only a huge Dragonite, which is a bit depressing. The huge Dragonite sat on the ground stupidly, looking at the pile of energy cubes placed in front of him. I am a little hungry, but I dare not eat. Because of these energy blocks 26. It's his next ration. although it is because of the huge dragonite. There are always many energy cubes in Mu Lin's backpack used to deal with some emergencies. But no matter how much you prepare, there is a limit. Now when will Mu Lin wake up? Huge dragonite has no idea. Do not save a little to eat. When I turned round, there was no food left. It wasn't long before I had a full stomach. Just starve again. Huge dragonite is suffering. Except that the huge dragonite is depressing. Cynthia is also because of Mu Lin. Depressed look. In Kalun's contest's castle, Cynthia walked up and down restlessly. Cynthia, can you please stop shaking? I was almost dizzy by you, Caluni said beside her. 2 days. 2 days. Mu Lin's phone can't be reached. No one came back either, Cynthia said irritably. Cynthia thought so. Mu Lin just went out for a while. Will be back soon. Unexpectedly. 2 full days. Never see him come back. What worries Cynthia the most is call Mu Lin, but it shows can't connect. Cynthia was anxious, and it was reasonable. In this situation, it's like my husband disappeared for 2 days. I didn't go home for 2 days, and I didn't give an explanation. As a wife, who can recognize it? Who is not worried? Because Mu Lin couldn't be reached. Cynthia couldn't bear it. No, I'm going to find Professor Bratano. Ask him if he abducted my husband. Finished. Cynthia immediately summoned Garchomp. I will go with you. Kaluni was also a little worried about whether something happened to Mu Lin. Hastily followed up. Lumiose City. Bratano Laboratory. Professor Bratano looked at Cynthia with an unfriendly face in a daze. What did you say? Professor Mu Lin is missing? But Mu Lin Professor is not with me. We did meet that day. But after chatting for half an hour, he left. Blazing fast explanation by Professor Bratano. Gone. Anyone know where he's going? Cynthia pressed. Facing the questioning, Professor Bratano quickly replied, no, I don't know. He just said that it was very inspiring to chat with me, what kind of experiments he was going to do. Hearing this, Cynthia became more and more worried. Cynthia ... Don't worry yet. Maybe Mu Lin Professor is going to do experiments. Too busy to get in touch. It's also very possible, Kaluni said with concern. Cynthia quickly retorted, what experiment? It's impossible. Mu Lin is the history professor. Isn't it a chemical scientist? What kind of experiments are you doing? Speaking of this, Cynthia became more and more worried. Mu Lin ... Something must have happened. Kaluni retorted decisively this time. Mu Lin will be fine. Cynthia, think about it. Mu Lin's Pokemon is so strong. Who can hurt him? Even if someone can really hurt him. But Mu Lin won't even have time to call for help. So I think Mu Lin has encountered something unexpected. I'm too busy to reply to you. Cynthia heard. I feel what Karni said makes sense. Except for Lucario and Darkrai who are extremely powerful. Mu Lin and Lightstone, what's the matter? Can also summon Reshiram out to deal with 1 or 2. Anyway, Reshiram is the dragon of truth. No matter how weak the strength is, it is stronger than ordinary Pokemon. Knowing that Karni was right. But Cynthia was still worried. He murmured, where will Mu Lin go? He's in the Carlos region for the first time. The people I know are you and Professor Bratano. Wrong. Mu Lin also knows Olympia. Cynthia remembered quickly. It happened to Olympia that day. Olympia from start to finish keeps staring at Mu Lin. Seems to have intentions for Mu Lin. Could it be that she seduced my Mu Lin? No. I'm going to find her. The more Cynthia thought about it, the more crooked she became. One step up to Garchomp. Fly towards Anistar City. Kaluni looked at Cynthia's appearance. Quickly riding her flying Pokemon. Chased after, leaving the confused Bratano Professor. 193, Anistar City. Anistar Gym. Bang. Garchomp dropped rudely from the sky. Cynthia didn't put away Garchomp either. Straight into the hall. Garchomp felt that Cynthia was not in a very beautiful mood. Not very happy even with her. A somewhat uninformed gym staff stepped forward. Hi. I'm here to challenge the gymnasium. Before he finished speaking, he was immediately glared at by Garchomp. Champion Garchomp. It's no ordinary high street goods. The staff backed away in fright. Fine. We have something to do with Director Olympia. Karuni who followed behind. Consolation to the scared staff. Cynthia walked into the gymnasium first. Saw Olympia in calm mind with 2 meow sticks. He asked directly, is Mu Lin here with you? Olympia has withdrawn from the calm mind contest condition. She shook her head with a smile. Mu Lin is not with me. But I know where he is. As soon as I heard about Mu Lin, Cynthia was both delighted and surprised. Good news, someone knows where Mu Lin is. Surprisingly, Olympia really knows. Could it be that Mu Lin was really seduced by her? 145 Cynthia, my husband is the child of destiny? Damn it. I don't even know where Mu Lin is. This Olympia actually knows where Mu Lin is. This moment, Cynthia was very upset. But no matter how unhappy, I was still worried about Mu Lin's emotions. Prevailed. Desperate to know Mu Lin's safety. Asked, where is Mu Lin now? Olympia shook her head and said, I can't tell you. Hissed Tilda. An unhappy Cynthia. Following Olympia's answer. Add some fire. Olympia knows where Mu Lin is. But don't tell her. Just when Cynthia couldn't hold back her anger, Caluni came in just in time. Hugged Cynthia who was about to run away. He hurriedly asked Olympia, Director Olympia, why can't you tell us where Mu Lin Professor is? Unlike Cynthia, Caluni knows Olympia usually looks like a god, like a magic stick, but in the heart. In fact, I admire their family's profitability. Olympia's eyes are dark. He said with a serious expression, the reason why I didn't tell you. That's because he is at a critical moment of breakthrough. He bears an extremely heavy fate. At this moment, absolutely no one is allowed to influence him. What? Bearing fate? Olympia has nonsensical words. Cynthia couldn't help but understand. But it seemed that it was different from what she thought. Mu Lin was not kidnapped. Olympia waved to the two women. He motioned them to sit down and listen to her explanation. Both Cynthia and Kaluni had to sit down. Olympia took out her crystal ball. Run your fingers back and forth on the ball. Seriously, he said, according to the divine revelation of the prophets of our Olympia clan, thousands of years ago, human beings planted a seed of extinction. This seed takes root and sprouts. Once it grows, it will directly destroy the entire world. In order to fight against the crisis of extinction, a child of destiny was born. Let him lead mankind out of the crisis of annihilation, said here. Olympia looked at Cynthia with burning eyes. And that child of destiny is Mu Lin. Olympia has a set of rhetoric. It frightened Cynthia for a moment. Cynthia is full of doubts though. But for a while I don't know where to ask. It was Caluni who was beside her who spoke. Curator Olympia. The annihilation crisis you are talking about is the huge meteorite fall like last time in the Hoenn region? Olympia shook her head. To that extent, it's not really annihilation at all. The real power to destroy the world comes from a higher god. The source, from Sinnoh region. Sinnoh region? Cynthia calmed down at this moment. You mean Arceus, the god of creation, capable of destroying the world? Then there is only the creator god who created the world. Olympia retracts the crystal ball. He waved his hand helplessly. Sorry, my ability can't predict more things. It's already the limit here. Cynthia and Kaluni looked depressed. Talk halfway. It's unclear. This kind of person is the most annoying. But this is Olympia continued. Back to the original topic. The current Mu Lin is accepting the gift of fate. Once he accepts it, he will be officially promoted to Child of Destiny. Cynthia didn't care about that much. She only cares about Mu Lin's safety. He said, then will Mu Lin be okay? Olympia said, no. But the premise is that no one disturbs him. Okay. Knowing that Mu Lin is not in danger, Cynthia was also slightly relieved. As for what Destiny's Child Olympia said, annihilation crisis or something, she said she didn't really care. I only care about my husband. For her, if there is no Mu Lin in this world, it's like the sky is falling. Know that Mu Lin is safe. Cynthia is about to leave with Kaluni. As for Olympia, Cynthia is very bad for her senses. At this time, the phone on Kaluni's waist. There were bursts of rapid bells. Kaluni answered the video call casually. On screen, Officer Jenny appears. Report. The cocoon of destruction north of Lumiose City. Already awakened. Everyone, please look at the next screen. Officer Jenny is holding the phone, aligned with monitoring equipment. Screen. Start conversion. One is full of black hair. The red and black Pokemon are soaring through the air. This Pokemon spreads its wings like a character Y. With a shake of the wings, it easily flew hundreds of meters. Around this Pokemon, trees withered, flowers withered. It seems to connect the whole earth. All because of this Pokemon, stained the layer of grey. Kaluni and Cynthia. Although this is the first time I have seen this kind of Pokemon, but quickly from his features called out the other person's name. God of Destruction, Yveltal. The screen switches again. Officer Jenny said solemnly, judging from the current movement of Yveltal. Yveltal is heading towards Lumiose City. Officer Jenny's words. Kaluni's face darkened. Lumiose City. It is the most shining city in the entire Kalos region. An international metropolis that gathers the essence of technology and art. Yveltal once approached. It will be an unprecedented disaster. Karuni of a famous family take on the role of the leader of the region. Quick voice. Jenny. Call Elite 4. Let them go to the place where the incident happened immediately, and all the investigators who launched the alliance. Lead the citizens of Lumiose City evacuate. Finally, in the name of my Kalos Grand Duchess, declare the entire Kalos region of emergency. One order after another was passed on. Kaluni's thoughts are still very orderly. Yes, June. Good. Miss Shah saluted and hung up the video call. When Kaluni gave the order, Cynthia had mounted Garchomp. Wait for Kaluni to give the order. He stretched out his hand. Kaluni. Come up. Without Kaluni please, Cynthia has decided to help. Thanks. Kaluni knows what her good sister thinks. Immediately grabbed Cynthia's hand. Quickly sat on Garchomp's body. Garchomp, let's go. Garchomp immediately felt like a jet setter. Launch off. Go to the direction where Yveltal wakes up. Olympia also summons her own flying Pokemon. Flying in the direction where the two women left. Compared to the nervous Kaluni, Olympia is unusually laid back. 146 Yveltal. Berserk! Exclamation mark. Why Yveltal? It will speed up the recovery time. Obviously, not that important, because when Kaluni and Cynthia arrived, they were all terrified by the scene in front of them. The land is barren, full of withering breath. In the air, it seems to have a touch of coquettish dark red. It was an extremely weird, frightening, and terrifying dark red. As if the blood dries up, like the plague normal, it spreads to the surroundings. Black and red Yveltal. It exudes darkness, depression and evil. These three indescribable breaths. Yveltal's chirping was unusually piercing. The terrifying atmosphere of destruction permeated the sky and covered the sky. Extremely strong malice and depression. Without warning, Yveltal shot a dark red beam. Disorderly attacks around. Kalun's eyes, frightened. It is rumored that as long as a living creature is hit by Yveltal's Oblivion Wing, they will all turn into rotten stone statues. Cynthia swallowed. Difficult 957 replied, "That's right. That's why Yveltal is called the god of destruction." Just when the two women were talking, Yveltal flying chaotically in the air, in the distance, two women with life were found, even though it is at least 3 kilometers away from Yveltal, can be caught by Yveltal's gaze. The hearts of the two girls were filled with chills. Yveltal's huge red-black wings spread open. It shot out a scarlet strange energy. Silence. Dead silence. The dark red beam seemed to split the air. Quick shot at the two girls riding Garchomp. Garchomp. Dodge. Cynthia immediately yelled. Yveltal is capable of life-depriving attacks. It's too weird, and I don't dare to shake it hard. Roar. Jet like Garchomp. Fly away quickly. Although Yveltal's attack is fast, but fortunately, there is still a certain distance between the two sides. Garchomp can quickly escape the attack range. Just as the two women retreated quickly, there was a melodious deer cry. The lifeless earth, as if because of this deer cry, restored a little vitality. One looks like a deer. A blue and black Pokémon came out of the withered woods. This Pokémon, there are 8 horns protruding from the head like branches. There are 2 branches at the end of each horn. 4 colorful projections wrap around each corner. The left and right colors are opposite. Xerneas, god of life. Xerneas, Kaluni pointed in surprise, appeared in the distance. Xerneas, as the legend says, Yveltal awakens. When the destruction occurs, the god of life will come to stop it. Cynthia patted Garchomp, signaled for her to stop. There is Xerneas. Yveltal should not take the target again on them. At this time, Olympia was 1 step behind. He also came to the side of the two women. Only when she saw Xerneas confronting Yveltal. There are no fluctuations, because it was discovered from her exploration. Yveltal at this time, I don't know what affected it, whether it's momentum, fighting power, etc. Obviously stronger than Xerneas, and Berserk. Olympia whispered in her mouth, CGBG, life and death are out of balance. With the advent of Xerneas, absolutely caught Yveltal's attention. Yveltal flapped his wings. The evil energy surged wildly. Dark aura. Activate. Raging evil energy. It seems to have turned into a black curtain. Blocks the sun from the soaring in the sky section. Under the addition of the dark aura, evil skills, got epic buffs. Yveltal flapped his wings. Executed a special skill, Oblivion Wing. A dark red, a beam of destruction and withering breath. Shoots at Xerneas. Antlers on Xerneas' head. 4 brilliant rays of light shine forth. Fairy aura, bloom. At the same time, she released her exclusive skills. The earth holds. At the moment when the exclusive skill is used, attack, defense, speed of Xerneas are further improved. Xerneas that absorb energy from the earth. Already familiar with his old friend's fighting style. For Yveltal's Oblivion Wing, not unfamiliar. Draw energy from the earth with peace of mind. To strengthen yourself. Later, it will be time for her to fight back. But this time, things seem to be different. Oblivion Wing by Yveltal, stronger than ever before. Contains dark red energy, stronger than ever. And the speed is fast. Can't dodge at all. The Oblivion Wing hits Xerneas. This can't help but make Xerneas. There was a mournful deer cry. The part that was hit left obvious wounds. Dark red, representing withered energy, constantly eroding her perfect body. That blow just now hurt her badly. But this, just the beginning. Yveltal's rapid surge of energy. Oblivion Wing launches again. Xerneas never had time to increase his abilities. Dodge everywhere. In the battle between the two sides. From the beginning, Xerneas was completely at a disadvantage. 147Y turned into a withered tree. Mu Lin wakes up. When two aura Pokemon fight. Kalos Region's Elite Four. Jimmy, Wickstrom, Drasna come to support. Kalos is the head of the region Elite Four. Drasna using Dragon Pokemon, asked aloud, Kaluni Grand Duke, how is the situation now? Kaluni frowned. He opened the mouth and said, the situation is very pessimistic now. Though, as the legend says, Xerneas came to fight Yveltal. But Xerneas, the god of life, was at a disadvantage from the beginning. Drasna was surprised. How? 2 Pokemon should be equal in strength. Xerneas should take advantage of attribute. You can suppress Yveltal. Kaluni shook her head silently. Drasna et al. All looked towards the battlefield. As Kaluni said, while Yveltal soars through the air, constantly attack, go after Xerneas running on the ground. Xerneas occasionally fought back, just the intensity of the blowback, obviously weaker, easily broken by Yveltal. Kaluni looked at the Elite Four who came to support her. Only 3 people are in place. He frowned and asked, where is Elite Buckler, who is in charge of the fire department? Drasna kept an eye on the situation. He replied, I don't know. Can't reach her. Okay. Kaluni responded lightly, but ignored it. Continue to pay attention. Put it on 2 Pokemon who are fighting at a distance. Over time, Yveltal with the upper hand, predict Xerneas' evasion route in advance. Fired an Oblivion Wing, ruthlessly bombarded the opponent. Xerneas added another wound. At the same time, There was a mournful cry. Antlers that originally shone in 4 colors. The light is no longer as bright as it used to be. Originally beautiful body. There are 2 wounds hit by the Oblivion Wing. Dark red, representing withered energy, constant corrosion. Together with Xerneas was originally full of vitality. It was also consumed a lot. Go on like this. Xerneas' defeat was only a matter of time. Yveltal has the absolute upper hand. And note Xerneas have a little bit of pity. Blood red, strange eyes, pumping up the energy as always. Use the exclusive skill again. Oblivion Wing, been attacked continuously. Xerneas was too late to dodge. Oblivion Wing, hit again. Yo-yo tilde, miserable deer cry, echoes throughout the mountains. It's different from Xerneas getting weaker and weaker. Yveltal didn't seem to be resting at all. Oblivion Wing, this skill. It is very suitable for the characteristics of Yveltal. Absorb life, while being able to deal damage to rival. It can also recover by absorbing half of the damage. So Yveltal is getting more and more energetic. Yveltal, who killed the madness completely, continuously launching attacks that can annihilate life. See beautiful Xerneas covered in scars, can only curl up on the ground, difficult to withstand the Yveltal attack. Kaluni took out the baby ball. Want to join the battle? Help Xerneas ease a thing or two. When Kaluni was just about to act, grabbed by Cynthia. Cynthia sighed silently towards Kaluni. He said sadly, Kaluni, it's too late. Karuni seemed to sense something. Look into the distance. Xerneas, representing life, has been completely committed to a deep pit. The colorful antlers no longer shine. The beautiful body is full of large and small scars. The vigorous breath of life seems to be absorbed by all. Her at the moment. Rapid aging of the skin, incarnate into a withered tree, fell into a deep sleep. No breath of Xerneas. Barren land. Everywhere reveals a strange, terrifying dark red tilde, accompanied by Yveltal's berserk growl. In the hearts of everyone, the ominous premonition began to spread. The faces of each of the 3 elite, Kaluni and Cynthia. It's all full of embarrassment and bewilderment. It's said, the god of life who can rival Yveltal. Xerneas are down. Them. What power is there to stop Yveltal, god of destruction? Among the crowd, only Olympia is alone, although marveling at the power of Yveltal. But there was no nervous expression on his face. 2 flowers bloom, each representing a branch. Lysandra's secret laboratory. Rot. The source of the radiant mega evolution. The light is gone. At this time, Mu Lin. The ear moved a bit. Immediately afterwards, the eyelids moved. Consciousness slowly returned to the body. Luca tilde, Hiss tilde, Lili tilde. Sensing the return of Mu Lin's breath, the Pokemon all gather around Mu Lin. The huge Dragonite also stared at Mu Lin intently. I saw Mu Lin suddenly opened his eyes. The eyes shine brightly. The momentum of the whole people is soaring. Pokemon around you involuntarily took a step back. But soon, Wei Sheng's strong Hideki momentum quickly squeezed into the body. Cool. Mu Lin, after waking up, feel your body. It's like it's been remodeled. 0. Cells are incredibly tough. It seems to contain the energy of a bomb. The total amount of the 3 divine powers has been strengthened again. Besides, Mu Lin has a feeling. This feeling is very strange. It was as if there was a greater power hidden within him. For the time being, it can't be mobilized. Feel the change in Mu Lin. The Pokemon all looked at him excitedly. Luca tilde, Hiss tilde, Lili tilde. Concerned about his changes. Only the giant Dragonite, who is silly and loves to eat. See Mu Lin wake up. Finally, there is no need to save food and money anymore. Grab the remaining energy cubes in front of him. Put it all in your mouth. Then he licked his face and moved to Mu Lin's side. Merged with other Pokemon. I am fine. I'm fine. Mu Lin smiled and waved to his Pokemon. Respond to Pokemon's concerns. Soothe the Pokemon. Mu Lin took out his phone and took a look. No signal. It is estimated that Lysandra, in order not to be discovered, inside the laboratory, installed a signal jammer or something. Have you been here for almost 3 days? It is estimated that Cynthia can't find me in 3 days. So I have an opinion. Mu Lin smiled. Then lead a few Pokemon. Walk out of the laboratory. Just walked out of the laboratory. It didn't take long for the signal to be restored. Mu Lin's mobile phone. It kept ringing. 148 Kaluni. The newly gathered fighting spirit dissipates immediately. Successfully take out the nemesis Xerneas. Yveltal's blood red. Strange eyes. Move to Kaluni, Cynthia and others who still have the breath of life. Crazy Yveltal. It will only annihilate all life. Tilde. Yveltal flapped his wings, facing Kaluni and the others in the distance. Send out a dark red energy beam. The Oblivion Wing that annihilates life is extremely fast. Everyone be careful. Kai yelled, and released her trump card Gardevoir. Gardevoir, teleport. Swish. Gardevoir teleports Karuni 100 meters away. The rest Cynthia. 3 elite, all under their respective Pokemon help. 507 scattered in all directions. Boom. Oblivion Wing by Yveltal. Fall in the position of everyone just now. Dark red strange energy. Blast the ground out of a deep pit. What is even more frightening is in the deep pit. The air of withering overflows. Once the surrounding flowers and plants touch, will wither quickly. Even those present. It is composed of 2 region champions, 3 elites, and 1 gym master. Still dare not act trashly. Yveltal is able to annihilate life attacks. So scary and spooky. Because the crowd was scattered and did not dare to fight. The situation quickly became one-sided. Yveltal flapped his wings and kept chasing after him. Caroline et al. Can only continue to retreat. Kaluni Grand Duke, go back like this. Just rewind to the edge of Lumiose City. The head of the Elite Four, Drasna, shouted at Kaluni. Even though Kaluni had issued an order before, citizens of Lumiose City are requested to evacuate. There are more than 100,000 livable citizens. How could it be so easy to evacuate? Once Yveltal enters the crowded city, the consequences could be disastrous. At this time, Kaluni reveals a region champion. Due responsibility. Grit your teeth. The order said, 3 Elite. I order you as Carlos Region Grand Duke. Join me and stop Yveltal. Give the citizens of Lumiose City enough time to evacuate. Elite who is proficient in steel type. Yanju. He slapped the armor on his body hard. Loudly echoed, Kaluni Grand Duke's will. Executed by loyal knights. Water System Elite Zimmy. Brushed the long hair on the forehead. Elegantly said, I am the Elite Four. I have sworn. Fight for the Carlos region. It's an honor to be side by side with Kaluni Grand Duke. Drasna who is proficient in dragon type. He said with a smile, although my hometown is Celestic Town, I love the Carlos region deeply. 3 elites. All released their main battle Pokémon. Cynthia didn't speak, just gave Kaluni a firm look. Stand with her. Olympia also quietly stood on Kaluni's body. Thanks. Thank you all. Karuni was moved by everyone's reaction. The first to speak, Gardevoir Mega Evolution, Dazzling Gleam, Garchomp Mega Evolution, So Fluctuate, Altaria Mega Evolution, Blastoise Mega Evolution, Scizor Mega Evolution. Under the leadership of Kaluni, everyone used their strongest attacks one after another. Various attribute attacks in different colors, converging towards Yveltal. Boom! Exclamation mark. A large number of energy attacks, boom from different directions. There was nowhere for Yveltal to dodge. He was knocked back tens of meters by a round of concentrated fire. Very good. Our attack works. Kaluni's beautiful eyes flickered. The morale of the rest of the people also increased. Just focused fire to repel Yveltal, seems to be saying, even facing the god of destruction. Nor is it invincible. Yveltal repulsed. There was a piercing scream. With this scream, intense black air in the dark aura, add some weight. As the god of destruction, Yveltal, be sure, these weak Pokémon. It actually hurt him. The dignity of God, inviolable, annihilate everything. Yveltal's momentum rose wildly. A barren land. It seemed to be all dyed a strange dark red. Suddenly, Yveltal sends out an Oblivion Wing. The speed is fast. Reached the extreme. The human eye can't react at all. This time it was Yveltal's target. Is Wickstrom slower? Scizor, in heavy red or Ebergama. The response was not timely. Get hit directly by Oblivion Wing. Scizor hit by the Oblivion Wing. No struggles. No screams of pain either. Under the shadow of the dark red beam of death 3.5 wings of death. Vitality is absorbed. Turned into a lifeless grey stone statue. Giant Scizor. Steel Series Elite Wickstrom. He quickly ran towards Scizor. Scizor, don't scare me. Answer me quickly. The Steel Elite shouted loudly at a loss. Unfortunately, Scizor turned into a stone statue. Can't respond at all, faced with such a weird attack from Yveltal. The fighting spirit that Karuni and the others gathered just now instantly dissipates into nothingness. 149 sad, desperate, and tears of Kaluni. Heartbroken Wickstrom. And that doesn't elicit any pity from Yveltal. Humans and Pokémon are also good. In front of the god of destruction, there will be no difference at all. God will not show mercy to the weak. Shout out to Wickstrom. Just an annoying fly. Yveltal flapped his wings again. Oblivion Wing, whizzing away again. The attack was about to hit Wickstrom. Kaluni shouted, Gardevoir, use teleport on Mr. Wickstrom. Gardevoir summons superpowers. Instantly teleports Wickstrom far away. Barely dodged the Oblivion Wing's attack. Everyone pay attention. If you can't stop Yveltal, the citizens of Lumiose City behind them, and their Pokémon, will be 26 like Scizor. Kaluni yelled. Immediately aroused the attention of others. Afterwards, everyone continued to command their Pokémon. Unleash a variety of energy attacks. Boom, boom, boom. For a time, the roar continued. Yveltal being set on fire, didn't care about that at all. The Oblivion Wing just now has absorbed the life force of Scizor. The injury has also recovered. As long as it can continue to absorb, then he can keep fighting. Yveltal high in the sky, wings vibrate again. Unleash the iconic Oblivion Wing. This time, set the target. Gardevoir of Calune. Because of the skills of the Gardevoir Fairy Department, able to deal outstanding damage to him. On the defensive end, teleport in Gardevoir. It can also save other Pokémon who dodge in time. Yveltal's attack was timed by coincidence. Caroline at this time. Command by Gardevoir's side. In Gardevoir's eyes, panic appeared. Just a second ago, she just chose a move called Dazzling Gleam. Hit Yveltal. There is a skills vacuum right now. Energy gathered in a short period of time. Unable to teleport her away with Kaluni. Seeing that the attack is about to rush to the front, Steel Elite Wickstrom and his Probopass Rive pushed Kaluni and her Gardevoir away, and his Probopass blocked the Oblivion Wing that obliterates life. In an instant, Wickstrom and Probopass turned into a lifeless stone statue. Mr. Wickstrom, Kai screamed. Pity. The statue would not answer. Hit through this time. Yveltal's injuries from the concentrated fire got restored again. Kaluni hadn't had time to grieve yet. Yveltal plays Oblivion Oblivion Wing again. War situation. Start in one direction and pour quickly. With the Avatar Stone statue of Steel Elite Wickstrom, Kaluni's combat power was weakened. Water System Elite Zimmy, Dragon Elite Drasna. They and their Pokémon also all hit by the Oblivion Wing. It turned into grey stone statues. Pokémon of Kaluni and Cynthia. Although there has been no downsizing, but in battle, it also consumes a huge amount of energy. Always used Gardevoir teleported. Energy in the body is depleted. Can no longer maintain Mega Evolution form. Garchomp of Cynthia. Although it can still maintain the Mega Evolution form, it's just that I can't support it anymore. But what makes them most desperate? It is Yveltal's strength and energy seems endless, as if no matter how struggle, neither is of any use. A dark aura covering the sky and the sun. It seemed to cover the entire sky. Yveltal's lock on Kaluni's Gardevoir again. As always when using Oblivion Wing, Caroline knew her Gardevoir is near the limit. Can no longer fight. To protect Gardevoir, Kaluni pulled out the baby ball containing Gardevoir. Press the button above. After a flash of red, Gardevoir was scored. Gardevoir, you protect me every time. This time, it's my turn to protect you. Finished. Kaluni ignores the Oblivion Wing's attack. Try your best to hold the baby ball in your hand. Fling away towards the distance. Although I don't know that this can avoid Yveltal's attack. But this is Karo 077. The last thing you can do for yourself. Gardevoir. Bang. Load Gardevoir's baby ball. Burst in the air. Gardevoir broke free from the baby ball. Gardevoir would love to use teleport. I want to teleport Kaluni away. But helpless. The teleport that is usually at hand. At this moment, due to the exhaustion of energy, it can no longer be used. Sana Tilda. Seeing that Kaluni is about to be hit by Oblivion Wing, Gardevoir let out a piercing cry. Seeing my good girlfriend about to be turned into stone, Cynthia pushed Garchomp wildly. Can her Garchomp, also exhausted, unable to attack when coming, save Kaluni? At this critical moment, the dark aura of darkness, a white light appeared. A holy white dragon blasted out a divine fire that seemed to destroy the world. 150 white dragons overclocking mode. Against Godwise dark aura. Just when Kaluni thought she'll be the same as the three elites who fell, will become a lifeless stone statue. He closed his eyes in despair. When you wait with peace of mind, a big hand grabbed her waist tightly. Subsequently, he even hugged her whole body. Soon, there was a whistling wind in my ears. The moment Kaluni opened her eyes in surprise, I saw a handsome profile face. Would Mu Lin? Kaluni exclaimed in surprise. Then see yourself. Held in the fiery bosom of Mu Lin, riding together on Reshiram's body. Are you okay? Mu Lin stared at the battlefield and asked. No. Nothing wrong. Kani responded quickly. That's good. Bai Long. Fall to the ground. Mu Lin communicated with Reshiram under his seat with three divine powers. Reshiram let out a melodious dragon cry, eyeing Yveltal warily. 1. Follow Mu Lin's instructions. Fall back to the ground from the sky. Go back to Mu Lin on the ground. Let go of Caroline. Gardevoir, who just let out a mournful cry, quickly ran to Kaluni's side. He hugged her tightly. Cynthia, also Garchomp, quickly approached Mu Lin's side. Sorry, something happened these 2 days. Delayed. I'll talk to you later. Stand back. Just leave it to me, Mu Lin said to Cynthia. Cynthia also knew that now was not the time to chat. He opened his mouth and said, be careful Tilda. Then he took Kaluni, who survived the catastrophe, step back. At the same time, Mu Lin took out the baby ball. The rest of the Pokémon are released. Confession. Xiu, Darkrai, Silver, Big Man. You are responsible for protecting them. Although the Pokémon in your own team, Little Lugia, who has the lowest level, has also reached the peak of the championship. The highest rank Giant Dragonite reached the median 3rd level God. But compared to Yveltal, there is still a big gap. Luca tilde, Hiss tilde, Luli tilde, A tilde. A few Pokémon agreed respectively. Go with Cynthia. Serve as the strongest defense. After arranging things, Mu Lin's eyes on Yveltal. Investigating eyes activated. The opponent's data automatically appears in the mind. Pokémon, Yveltal. Attribute, evil, flying. Ability, dark aura. Under the influence of this aura, all dark type moves become stronger. Level, 89. Level 2 God Peak. Skills, Snarl, Dark Pulse, Air Slash, Phantom Force, Sky Attack, Sucker Punch, Psychic. Exclusive Skill, Oblivion Wing. Contest Condition, Frenzy. The Pokémon is affected by other factors and falls into an uncontrollable frenzy. Contest condition and loses his mind. Remarks, when the wings and tail feathers are spread out and the red light is shining, it will absorb the life of the creature, can take other life, and the life, and spread it. Violent. Note Yveltal's contest condition. Mu Lin couldn't help but fell into deep thought. Exactly the same situation as the Pokémon route in Viridian Forest. Could it be that the Rockets have joined the Kalos region? Just when Mu Lin was thinking, Yveltal the Rampage. It's hard to bide the desire to attack in my heart. Violent Earthquake Dual Wing Beat unleashes the Oblivion Wing that obliterates life. Mu Lin's eyes froze. The conductor said, Bai Long. Activate the overclocking mode. Use Fusion Flare. Holy Reshiram, like the tail of an airplane engine, spinning wildly. The fire energy surged violently. The sky is full of fire. A large divine fire of punishment was formed. God's fire of punishment collided with the dark red oblivion wing and intertwined together. The two streams of energy annihilate and cancel each other out. Past the first round of collision, attacks from both sides. Neither can cause harm to the opponent. They are also the pinnacle of the second-level gods. The first round was tied. Both sides appear to be in balance. But in fact, there is another crucial point. The reason why Yveltal can maintain such a strong combat effectiveness. That's because Oblivion Wing hits rival, can absorb the opponent's vitality. That's kind of it. Similar to the leech life feature in the game. But once you can't leech life, then the combat effectiveness will be greatly reduced. On the other hand, transformed after Viridian Forest Riot, the source of Mega Evolution, the three divine powers in Mu Lin's body completely reached an astonishing level. A proper mobile spring energy fight. Coincidentally, this is his, Li Zhao, forte. After a collision, Mu Lin spoke immediately. Reshiram, keep using fusion flare. Raw tilde, Reshiram full of energy. Constantly activate overclocking mode. The flames were organized non-stop, falling down the sky full of flames. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. And join my Patreon if you want to support me, link in the description. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.